Salute to the family. Salute to the team. We are in the building, ladies and gentlemen. While you guys coming on in, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, family, so you can be notified whenever we go live, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the building. Let's go. Salute, family. We are in the building. Salute to the family. Let's get the likes up, family, while you guys coming on in the building. Yes, indeed. It's time to get to work. Salute to the family. Salute to the team. We are here, live in effect. Let's go. Salute to the family. Salute to the team. We are in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the family. How you guys doing on this evening? I am honored to host you guys on this evening. Shout out to the family. Y'all are coming in early on this evening. While you guys coming on in, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, family, so you can be notified whenever we go live. Ladies and gentlemen, you know why I'm here. You know why I'm here, right? But first things first, I like to let you guys know whenever I found out something about Carmelo Anthony. So the latest update with our brother Carmelo Anthony, he has 2 hearings coming up next month. One on the 19th, one on the 20th. His hearing on the 19th is for the recuser of Judge Roach to be removed from this trial. Wednesday, 9 a.m. on August the 19th is for the recuser and trying to remove Judge Roach off this trial. Yeah, Judge Roach, you got to get your ass up out of here, buddy. You have to go. It's time to go. It's time to get justice for our brother Carmelo Anthony. They legally lynched him. And on August 20th, family, that Thursday, August 20th, he has a hearing for the attorneys to argue about a retrial, right? So I just wanted to update the family on that to let you guys know that we have to continue to uplift Carmelo Anthony, to pray for him, because he don't deserve that, family. He didn't deserve to be sentenced to 35 years in prison. 35 years for defending himself from a race soldier. Them demonic evil twins tried to take Carmelo Anthony out, and he's in prison for 35 years. So, guys, that's the latest update on our brother Carmelo Anthony. 2 hearings next month. Wednesday, 9 a.m. on the 19th for the recuser of Judge Roach, and Thursday for the arguments for a retrial, family. So I just want to keep you guys informed on what's going on with our brother. We are riding with our brother until the wheels fall off, family. So shout out to Russell Wilson for leading the legal team. I feel confident. I feel confident that we will get this appeal. I feel confident that we will get this retrial. I know a lot of people is counting out Carmelo Anthony, right? The mainstream media, a lot of these clear people out here talking about he's not going to get an appeal. He's gonna do 99 years. You got a lot of Sambos out here projecting a lot of homosexual things that's going to happen to him. Very sick individuals out here, right? But let's just keep our heads up high and our prayers up for our dear brother Carmelo Anthony. So, family, we got to talk about the new interview that just dropped today of Warren sitting down with Officer Tatum, right? The third part, right? We're going to go over the second part, but first things first, we got to go over the third part that he just released of the suspect, right? He's a suspect to me. He's not a witness. He's not a best friend. He's not a brother. He's a suspect. Because in my opinion, allegedly, Warren has something to do with this. He's covering up for somebody, or he's trying to save his ass. But we going to get into it, family. Best believe that. But you guys remember on yesterday when I told you that his body language seemed off during that interview. He didn't show any type of emotion towards Nolan. Even Officer Tater Tot body seems off, right? Their body language was strange, right? Shout out to Patrice coming in with the $5 super chat. Didn't say nothing, just showing love. Shout out to you, Patrice. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. And as he was discussing, what was going on that island, he didn't seem sad. He didn't seem concerned. He had a serious look. He didn't say rest in peace to Nolan not one time. He didn't shed any tears. None of that. So I'm going to show you guys this video of this professional that spotted out the exact same thing that I spotted out yesterday in that interview with his body language. Salute to the family. Salute to the team. We are in the building. While you guys coming on in, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever we go live, family. It is time to get to work. It's time to handle business. And it's time to put belt to ass. Salute to the family. Salute to the team. Thank you guys for joining me on this evening. I appreciate you guys for being here. But first thing first, family, I want you guys to listen to this professional talk about the body language of Warren in that interview that he did on today. So shout out to you guys.
A young man who describes Nolan Wells as a brother and best friend did an interview yesterday. And being a practicing psychotherapist, I noticed a couple of things about his body language and his vocal tone that I want to share with you. So I'm going to show you a clip from that interview, and then let's talk about it.
Nolan, I could describe Nolan in a million ways. I mean, Nolan was not just a best friend of me, but he was a brother. I grew up through elementary, middle school, high school, and even our freshman year of college. You know, we talked on the phone all the time. We were really close friends. And, I mean, Nolan was like a brother to me. And Nolan lit up every room he walked in. He always had a smile on his face. He always had something good to say. I've never seen Nolan get in an argument with somebody.
When the incident happened.
Okay. You know, being from the Gulf Coast, there's boating and fishing is very, very popular. The 4th of July, every year, my friends and I, or my family and I, are out on the water. I mean, that's the one day is guaranteed everybody's going out. And that's a known thing. Everybody's trying to get a ride out to Horn Island, or, you know, people go to Ship Island, but most of everybody from Ocean Springs and the Gulf Coast go to Horn Island. And, you know, we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year, and, he was, I mean, this was a common thing. My friends go on the boat when we were home. I talked to Nolan, and, you know, Nolan was drinking. Everybody was drinking, most of everybody. And I mean, Nolan seemed completely fine every time I talked to him. We had just regular conversations, and, you know, Nolan was making me laugh. I had a couple conversations with Nolan and Javon, Nolan and my buddy James, Nolan, and I mean,
He said Nolan was fine after, you know, stated that Nolan was drinking. So I wanted you guys to, you know, highlight that.
Tell you, I mean, I talked to Nolan a couple times, but it wasn't like I was strictly sitting there talking to Nolan the whole day.
Now, obviously, I can't make any statements about Warren Hudson's involvement, his guilt or innocence in the circumstances that led to Nolan Wells' death. But I can tell you, some of the things I noticed in this interview were very, very interesting to me as someone who's been a practicing psychotherapist for about 20 years and has worked with thousands of people dealing with grief. The first thing I want to talk to you about is his overall presentation. There is literally no emotion in this interview whatsoever. And he's describing someone as his best friend and like a brother to me. And he passed away under very mysterious, if not suspect circumstances, just 2 weeks prior. His pace and tone with which he's talking never changed throughout the whole interview. I just showed you a small clip, but they never changed throughout the whole interview. Now, listen, when you are describing emotional content, your heart races, your body releases chemicals, like releases hormones, like things like the stress hormone cortisol, for example, and it makes you fidgety, and it makes you move, and it makes your tone change. You don't see any of that with him. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, well, maybe that's just his personality. He'd have to be a Zen Buddhist, especially at the age of 19, to be able to talk about something that is supposed to be so emotional without any level of variance in his body language, in his tone, and in the pace with which he's talking. The other thing that was very telling to me is when the interviewer asked him about the incident on that day, he got very intellectual. Instead of talking about like any of the circumstances that led to Nolan being missing, he starts talking about what it's like living on the Gulf Coast. Right. And there's almost a faint smile beginning to come to his face when he talked about what kids in that area do when they go to one of the islands down in that area. That is very, very unusual because, again, when you ask me about an incident where I lost my best friend, like a brother to me just 2 weeks prior, it should provoke emotion. It should almost be traumatizing. But
because he's not Nolan's friend. That's why he didn't show no emotion. Nolan is not his brother. Nolan is not his best friend.
Wasn't here. He just talked about it as if he's rehearsed it 1,000 times.
We know he rehearsed it. That whole interview was scripted and rehearsed. That's why you seen so many jump cuts during that interview. He rehearsed the shit out of everything that he said in that video, and he forgot his lines. That's why Officer Tatum had to do a bunch of jump cuts.
And then the third thing I want to point out is when he talked about details, about like I was talking to Nolan that day. We had been doing some drinking. Most people express those kinds of things, again, emotionally and with some remorse. For example, we really shouldn't have been drinking. Oh my gosh, I wish I had stopped him from drinking. Something like that would have come out of his mouth. But he's just talking about it like it's just some sort of a story, as if the same level of tone, if Nolan and I went and got a run to McDonald's and came home. It's just a story. Now, again, I'm not saying that this indicates whether he's guilty or innocent. That's obviously for investigators to decide.
He guilty.
But I'm telling you, as a practicing psychotherapist, if I were talking to someone who's just lost somebody 2 weeks prior, I would experience this as incredibly unusual. And I would have some questions clinically about why this person is presenting to me in this way. So what did you notice in this interview? What stood out to you? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.
So I wanted to show you guys that, right? He's a psychotherapist for over 20 years, and he saw the exact same thing that we all seen in that interview yesterday, right? A cold face, very emotionalist. He wasn't shedding any type of tears or concern. Not only that, family, this coward didn't even say rest in peace to Nolan, not one time. May Nolan rest in peace, condolences to the family. He didn't say none of that. He was just going over his lines, you know, that Judge Ashley Cole instructed him to go over in that interview. That's why it was so many jump cuts during that interview. Too much editing during that interview. Y'all are sitting down in one room. Why are you editing a conversation that don't need to be edited? They don't even make no sense. And Nolan hasn't even been unalive for like, what, 2.5 weeks? You still should feel some type of way about your friend no longer being here. And you not able to go to the funeral because you saying that, hey, I fear for my life, right? That's his excuse. And Officer Tatum said that, not Warren. Warren is too coward to even speak for himself. So Officer Tatum had to speak for himself and say, hey, Warren and the guys couldn't go to the funeral because they were scared that somebody was going to do something to them. What the hell was going to happen to them at a funeral? It was celebrities there, politicians there, friends from high school there, friends from his college was there. What was y'all afraid of? Police was there, security was there. So how you was scared to go to the funeral? No, you didn't want to go to the funeral because you felt guilty. You feel guilty or something, and you trying to hide behind a mask like, oh, people sending us threats, people saying they're going to do this to us, do that to us. You're lying, Warren. You're lying. How you do a whole hour-plus interview and don't show no type of emotion? You either got to be a psychopath or you just don't give a damn about Nolan at all. Salute to Warren coming in with the $10 super chat. Hate this dude, shares my name. Because, hey, I thought it was Warren about the super chat. Hate this dude, shares my name. But the way Ashley is protecting Warren is strange. I bet dollars to donuts that they have a joint P-Hub account with content with stepmom, stepson content. You know how they get down, Warren. You know how that community get down when it comes to that, when it comes to incest. You know, that's their culture. They participate in that a lot. A lot. But thank you so much, Warren, for the $10 super chat. I appreciate you guys. So I just want to make sure that I wasn't crazy yesterday when I was just looking through that whole interview like, hold on, why bro ain't showing no emotions? He's just sitting down there just going through the story. Don't feel sorry. Don't look like he have any empathy or anything. And it's crazy. So Officer Tatum made this video, family, when he first talked about sitting down with Warren and doing this interview. He said that we owe Warren an apology. We owe those white boys an apology because he got the facts. He got the evidence. He seen all the evidence, and those boys was innocent. Because we know Officer Tatum didn't go down there to Mississippi to try to get any type of justice for Nolan. It was to defend these white boys because he's a Sambo. He's a bootlicker. He's a white an apologist. Right? But I just want to play this video. Before we go into the third part of this interview, family, I just want to show you how energetic this guy was when he first went down there to Mississippi.
I gotta say something real quick. Benjamin Crump should be ashamed of himself. Al Sharpton should be ashamed of themselves. I'm right here in Mississippi. It's crazy that I had to fly down here to even get this information. They've been lying on these boys. I got evidence, and I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to lay it out for you.
He ain't got no evidence.
It is a shame that boy Nolan did not get the respect that he deserved. In my opinion, they turned his death into a racial thing, destroying the community. You name it, they did it. And we got evidence that it wasn't just 4 boys with him. We got evidence that they asked Nolan to get back on the boat, and he refused to because he grown. we got evidence that the boys reached out to the parents, that Benjamin Crump and them didn't refuse to reach out to these boys. And I've talked to them. I've seen the evidence with my own eyes. I've seen that there was more than just 4 people. There was
what evidence, bro? Where's the evidence? You just dropped 3 clips of the interview, right? We finna go over the third part, and we gonna go over the second part that he dropped today, right? You haven't released any evidence, Officer Tatum. Officer Tatum he's speaking like he cracked the case, family. He saw the case because he sat down with Warren lying ass. You don't have any evidence. You got talking points. You're bootlicking. I got the evidence. Y'all paying these white boys and trying to make this about racism and all this. Okay, can you present the evidence? Present the evidence, Officer Tatum, please. We waiting on it, sir.
3 boats full of kids. I know that they left and they had nothing to do with this. And instead of them saying and standing up for these boys and saying, look, we don't know what happened. We want justice for Nolan. These boys didn't have no involvement. Instead, they want to make it about race. And it is a shame. And I'm so heated, man.
Of course you heated.
I went out to Horn.
Of course you heated because you a bootlicking Sambo. Of course you heated. Every time we put belt to ass to the clear community, here you come putting your cape on. Having a Sambo attack.
Alan, we got all the video. We got the interviews. The boys wanted to talk to me because I'm the only one there to give them a voice because everybody else is fake.
No, you're fake. They sat down and talked to you because you one of them, right? You a black face, and they feel safe talking to a Sambo. And by Warren sitting down talking to you lets us know everything we need to know about Warren, everything we need to know about Judge Ashley Cole, because she's a judge, a sitting judge, and she's an attorney. She know exactly who Officer Tatum is, and she said, you know what? Let me send my stepson to go sit down and talk to this guy to try to stick up for his black friend and sit down with a guy that's anti-black. He's anti-black, but it's in Warren's best interest to sit down with a man that degrade people that look like Nolan every single day.
Fraudulent, looking out for themselves. And it's a shame, man. It's a shame. Nolan deserved better than what they did.
You don't give a damn about
They out
Nolan.
here hoodwinking, trying to raise money and make stuff about race, and they have no evidence.
He worrying about everybody else that's raising money, but he's chopping up videos instead of just dropping the whole entire video. He's chopping it up, family. Every day he's dropping a clip of the video, which means he's race hustling. He's grifting off this. But you want to count everybody else's pockets. What you doing, Officer Tater Tot? You think you went down there in good faith? You think you went down there to try to get justice for Nolan Wells? You know you don't give a damn about that family. You went down there to protect those white boys because we putting that fire on their ass. And you know it. We are getting closer and closer to the truth, Officer Tatum, and it's frustrating you. And you saying that ain't nobody got no evidence, but you got the evidence? If you got evidence, don't you think the police will have evidence down there in Mississippi? If you got the evidence, the case should be closed, right? You sat down and had one testimony talking about that you got all the goddamn evidence. I got the evidence. I got the evidence. See, y'all lying. Y'all ain't even got no evidence. Talking to Warren is your evidence?
They lied about the phone getting deleted. It's a shame, man. But y'all finna find out. And a lot of y'all gonna have to apologize for the stuff that you said. You're gonna have to take that video down and apologize.
We gotta
because
apologize.
You're a part of the lie. Gotta say.
We gonna apologize, family. And I want you guys to look at this, family. Right? This is the part 3. Bombshell, right? Bombshell. This is the title of this video. Bombshell. Nolan Wells' best friend, it's not his best friend, exposes why Nolan Wells left on the island. See, in this video clip, they is finna try to shift the blame to Nolan. So this whole interview is trying to put all the accountability on Nolan and act like Warren don't know what happened, take the attention off him. He's innocent. He didn't do nothing. He wasn't involved in nothing. Let's put all the blame on Nolan and why Nolan was chose to be left on this island and then wind up body getting picked out the lake. Okay, let's get it. Somebody said, unsubbing. I ain't with the BS. You using your own as well, you know. Hey, Zoe. Get the fuck out of here in a hurry, sir. You think I give a damn about your subscriptions over here? If you don't get your pussy ass away from over here, I don't give a damn if you unsubscribe. Hurry up. Matter of fact, let me block you to make sure that you get up out of here. Don't even take an extra peep. Talk about, oh, I'm unsubscribing. I can't deal with this bullshit. I know you can't. I know you can't. Get your bitch ass away from over here. Motherfucker talking about I'm unsubscribing. I can't. I know. This accountability hurts over here. If you straddling the fence, if you trying to play both sides, you are going to feel very uncomfortable over here. I'm not playing both sides. I'm standing up for the family and the family only. I ain't straddling the fence. I'm not being neutral. I pick my side, and I'm letting it be known. Shout out to the family. Shout out to the team. Shout out to my channel members. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on this evening. Hey, Zoe, get your ass up out of here. The hell you talking about you unsubscribing? I can't deal with this. What you over here for anyway? Fuck you talking about? I helped you get up out of here. I'm going to help you get up out of here. All that side fence, y'all, all these black people over here wanna stay on the fence. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to cue. I don't know if they did this. I don't know. Carmelo Anthony should never brought a knife. All that straddling the fence, that ain't gonna work over here with me. I ain't straddling the fence. I picked a side. I'm on the side of my people. I'm making sure that I let y'all know that, so y'all won't be confused of what type of creator that I am. I am for black people only. I'm riding with my people until the wheels fall off. If you don't like it, please kick rocks. I don't care. I am not a slave to subscribers. I am not a slave to you. Get the hell out. Salute to the family. Let's get this work.
All right, so I want to be clear with this one thing, because I know you mentioned before. Is there any chance or any knowledge that you have that anybody deleted stuff from his phone?
But, and family, I want you to just look at this. Part 3. He's saying that Benjamin Crump, Al Sharpton, everybody is grifting, trying to make money. This is part 3, right? This was just released 4 hours ago. This not grifting right here? This not grifting, chopping this interview up in different pieces, 20 minutes here, 12 minutes here, 13 minutes here. What this tell me that this interview ain't nothing but about 50 minutes, 60 minutes long, but you breaking it up in bits of pieces because you trying to run the numbers up on this. That's what you're trying to do.
I mean, Nolan was like a brother to me. Nolan lit up every room he walked in. 4th of July, everybody was out there. Nolan rode out on the Triton, and then we had a Palm Beach, 18 Palm Beach. There was 4 guys on that. The rest of the group, which was ranged from maybe 10 to 15 or 16 people on my buddy's tide line. Yeah, so y'all pretty much having a good time. And then you guys get ready to leave prematurely. Right. And like, what? Explain that, because you guys got there around 10. Yeah. It's now 4:30. Right. People are still out there partying, and they're having a good time, but something happened to where it necessitated you guys to get the boat up and running. Can you explain that? Yeah. So I had a girl come up to me and say, hey, your brother just got in a fight. And obviously I have a younger brother, and that's who she was talking about. And I was freaked out. So I walked over to the beach, and I didn't walk over. I ran over. I made a beeline. I didn't talk to anybody. Put my drink down and walked over there. And my brother was kind of angry, and there was a lot going on. But someone was getting pulled away. I don't know who it was. And my brother was like, "Oh, I just got in a fight, and this guy punched me in the face," and I punched him right back. And then went to the ground, and my brother put him in an arm bar. And
was Nolan involved in any of this?
Absolutely not. When I was over there, it was a bunch of younger guys like my brother's age, and I mean, Nolan. I never saw Nolan over there.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And okay, sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
So you get
You can't remember your lines. See, you and Ashley went over your lines about 5 or 6 times, and this interview is so goddamn scripted that you can't even keep up with what you're talking about. And Officer Tatum is leading you on with these questions because y'all rehearsed this. And I'm telling you, family, Warren did himself a disservice by sitting down talking to this clown. He actually thought that this was going to make him look good in the public eye. He can't even remember his lines.
You get ready to go. There's an issue with the boat.
Okay, yeah.
And this is
well,
what
this led up to that. That's what I was saying.
So the fight happened with your brother, or a little scuffle. I'm assuming that it was cleared up.
You're right.
You got your brother out of there.
Right.
Why are you assuming it was cleared up? You need to let him. You wasn't there, Officer Tatum. Stop speaking as if you are there, talking about I assumed it was cleared up. Stop assuming shit. You wasn't there. Allow Warren to talk about the fight. You wasn't there. See, this is how you know that this interview is scripted. He's giving leading statements and leading questions. Talking about, I assume this, I assume that. You wasn't there, so you shouldn't assume shit. Allow this fool to continue to lie and make up some shit that's not even true. I don't believe Warren at all. Salute to Warren. That's crazy. Warren coming in with the $5 super chat. He keeps saying nobody had their phone in the water, like they don't make the waterproof cell phone holders. Me and my wife have several for when we travel. Exactly. I use the same thing. When I was just on a cruise doing the jet skis, I had my phone. When we was on a speedboat out there in Mexico, I had my phone. When we was at the lake and we went to the beach, we had our phone. So all this trying to make a whole big thing like, yeah, we don't take our phones in the pool and in the lake on the beach. That's a lie, bro. Speak for yourself. Stop speaking for Nolan. Speak for yourself and stop speaking for Nolan.
Okay, yeah.
And this is
well,
what
this led up to that. That's what I was saying.
So the fight happened with your brother, or a little scuffle. I'm assuming that it was cleared up.
He assuming again. He assuming he's not part of the altercation. He wasn't there. He don't got no proof, but he's assuming.
Right. You got your brother out of that situation, and then how did you find out that this boat is sinking?
Well, I walk back over, and like we're probably around each other for a little bit. I mean, I wasn't thinking anything of it. I pulled my brother off the beach, and I was just like, listen, get in the water, hang out with us, calm down. I mean, he was calm, but I didn't want anything else to happen, And so once I got back over to the boat, I got on the Triton, and the Triton had probably about 6 inches of water up to the transom. And I was freaked out because I'm good friends with Wyatt, and that was his boat. And, no water's coming out, no access water's coming out. And, it was a big issue because I think the reason was because there were so many people getting on and off the boat. And at some point, the boat was very, very crowded. And there was just a lot of people on, so that it drags water in. And eventually, I think
his friend Watt, right? Go ham. His friend Watt, little brother, came on the internet and said black people are worthless. That's who he talking about right now. Watt, little brother, said that black people are worthless. But let's not make this about race, family. Let's not make this about race. We are the ones that's rage baiting. We are the one that's race hustling. We are the ones that's pulling the race card. But Watt's little brother came on the internet on his social media platform and called black people worthless.
Time we were out there for a couple hours, the boat just started filling up with water. So I popped the starboard side hatch, and the battery was completely underwater. And so the motor wouldn't trim down. I mean, my buddy would go to trim it down from the console, and it trimmed down, and then it come right back up. And so Wyatt's trying to throw a rear anchor.
Why is it a jump skip right there? Family, did y'all see that?
I mean, my buddy would go to trim it down from the console, and it trimmed down, and then it come right back up. And so Wyatt's trying to throw.
Bro, why is you jump skipping a interview that's supposed to be genuine and telling the truth? We are 3 minutes in the video, family, and Officer Tatum is already jump skipping the goddamn video. If Warren is telling the truth, why you got to jump skip? Why are you cutting out shit that he's saying? If he being honest, Officer Tatum, you so goddamn stupid. You really thought dropping all these goddamn episodes of this bullshit ass interview is gonna shine light on Warren and make him look like he's innocent and he ain't got nothing to do with it? He's already guilty by sitting down talking to your fat ass. But you doing all these jump cuts? Family, we 3 minutes in and he did the first jump cut. Look at this.
I mean, my buddy would go to trim it down from the console, and it trimmed down, and then it come right back up. And so Wyatt's trying to throw a rear anchor, so we're caught, and he's, yelling at people. Everybody's kind of freaking out. And eventually I'm like yelling at other people, trying to tell them, calm down. Like, the boat could possibly sink, and I'm not paying attention to everyone around me. I was paying attention to my buddy's boat. And that's
I'm not paying attention to everybody around me, which is code word for I'm not paying attention what's going on with Nolan. I don't know what Nolan is. I don't have no eyes on Nolan. So I'm sending out a dog whistle and letting y'all know I'm not paying attention to nothing that's going on. I'm just paying attention to the boat. My only focus is the boat. My focus is not on Nolan. I am letting the public know my eyes is not on Nolan. Yeah, motherfucker, we caught that.
All my other friends that were on that boat were doing, trying to solve the problem.
So you're on the boat now. The water is getting up to the point where the boat may be disabled to where you couldn't get it out.
Correct.
From Horn
Correct.
Island. So what happens after that?
Wyatt jumps to the water, tries to throw a rear anchor, and my buddy Meyer, you're sitting looking, trying to pull trash out the bilge. And the bilge is basically a pump that pulls the excess water out the boat. So the bilge was failing to work. So any excess water was just sitting in the boat. It wasn't getting pumped out. And I looked over the gunnel and I looked at the release hole for the bilge, and it was even with the water. So, I mean, we're all freaking out. All of our, we're not focused on anything else other than the boat. Well, then eventually my buddy Bart on the tide line is like, I'm going to pull y'all out to where we're out of all this, all this chaos. Because we left at 4:30 and there were still just as many people there, if not more than when we got there. I mean, probably around the same amount. I mean, it was crazy. Like, there was a lot of people. And, I mean, eventually Bart pulls us out. We left at 4:30, but we really weren't pulled out away from everybody. We were probably about a quarter mile out, and we had the towing strap pulled from,
why
Bart's
the camera on his ugly ass?
port side cleat or starboard side cleat, and he was on our starboard side bow. And so it was rubbing on his power pole. So Bart turned around, pulled up next to our boat, and we were just trying to get it situated. So that's when Wyatt called Cito. And Wyatt was like, calls him, because the cell service isn't great at the island, but once you can use your phone, but stuff might not just send, and it's not great.
So he said you can use your phone on the island, but you don't have good service. But you have the YT community out here saying it was no point of him having his phone because there's no signal out there. Warren just stated that you have signal. You might not have a strong signal, but you can make a phone call. You can call somebody. You might can't send a video or pictures, but you can make a phone call. So that debunked that narrative that y'all going around and saying, well, why would he need his phone? He can't use it. I don't give a damn if I can't use my phone. I want my damn phone if I'm left somewhere by myself and my friend's gone.
Maybe one bar, it won't work that well. But once you get a little off the island, you have cell coverage. And even on the island, like I called my mom when we were on the island, it was fine. Like we had, enough cell coverage to make a phone call or shoot a text over, but you don't have enough cell coverage to like send a picture, for example. So why?
So I want to go back.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Why you cut him off? He was still explaining himself. Why you cut him off? Now all of a sudden you want to interject. Let him keep doing these lies that he's doing. Let him keep babbling and lying.
I want to touch on that real quick because the phone thing came up at some point. And so was it when you guys got off the boat?
Yeah.
I mean, were people taking their phones off the boat, or is that not typical? Because I know that Nolan's phone was left on the boat,
Right.
even though after you guys had left. So can you explain that? Because I think people need to understand this a little clearer.
Yeah.
Was it typical for people to have their phones left on boats, or did they keep their phones in the water? Or?
Yeah. I mean, everybody kind of goes out to the island to get away from, their phones and everything else. I know I got on the boat to get away from, just the regular world.
And speak for yourself then. Don't speak for everybody. Everybody don't go to the island to get away from the world. Everybody don't go to the island to leave their phone somewhere else. Speak for yourself. Stop speaking for Nolan.
No, when you're waist deep in water, no one's carrying their phone in their hand. Especially at Horn Island, the water has been very, very murky because of the rain. And when it's just very risky. If you're gonna have your phone in the water, some people might for a couple minutes and like maybe taking some pictures of each other. I know a lot of girls like to take pictures in the water at Horn Island. Guys do too. Like people like to take pictures. And
so he just admitted that people take their phones out there on the water. People take their phones on the island to take pictures, Instagram, Snapchat. You know how these young people do. So he just admitted that people have their phone. So why y'all didn't get Nolan back his phone then? These people is trying to over-explain why Nolan left his phone. This making Warren look more and more suspicious. Officer Tatum, you are not making Warren look good at all. Dropping all these different damn episodes, over-explaining about a cell phone. Yeah, people go to the island and just try to disconnect for life. People don't bring their phones in the water or on the island. But you do got a signal. But you do see girls and some guys have their phone. So which one is it? People go to their island and don't have their phone, and it's some people that do bring their phone. That's fucking loser, man.
But a lot of the pictures you see are on the boat for a reason. And so, no, I mean, if someone is on their phone in the water, they're using it real quick and then putting it right back on the boat.
Thank you for joining me.
We were all waist deep in water. No one's sitting there scrolling on their phone. I never saw that once. And I've never seen that once. And I've been out the island my whole life. I mean, that's just not something people do. People aren't on their phones. And everybody has their phone, yes, but it's always on the boat.
So you said that people have their phone, but it's always on the boat. Then at the same time, you said people are in the lake on their phones, taking pictures, girls and guys. And then you see, Warren, this is what you call over-explaining. You should have just ended by saying, yeah, it's not typical that people bring their phone when they swimming or they on the island because there's no signal and people don't want to get their phone with. You keep over-explaining and contradicting yourself. At one moment, nobody got their phone. And then you said, yeah, some girls and guys have their phone and they like to take pictures and do all this and that. But then again, yeah, nobody is not typical. I've never seen nobody have their phone. How you don't see nobody have their phone and then you see somebody have their phone? Dude, what the fuck are you saying? You don't even make sense. But you need to blame Officer Tatum for this because Officer Tatum making your big nose ass look stupid. Shout out to Brittany coming in with the $5 super chat. How do you not pay no attention to your surroundings, just looking straight ahead? Those so-called friends didn't look out for Nolan at all. Rest in peace. Facts, Brittany. Facts. He's trying to make the point that he wasn't paying attention to nothing else but that boat. He wasn't looking around. He didn't see nothing. He wanted to make sure that we know that he didn't have his attention on Nolan, right? He's trying to over-explain why Nolan's phone was left on the boat by saying that it's not normal. He never seen nobody had a phone on the lake or on the island. And then the next statement, yeah, I see girls take pictures and things like that on the boat and in the lake sometimes. But, most of the time people don't have it. He's fucking lying.
Island my whole life. I mean, that's just not something people do. People aren't on their phones. And everybody has their phone, yes.
You see it right there? He said it's not normal. People don't be on their phone or nothing like that. People have their phone, yes. Warren, God. I don't give a damn where I'm at. My phone is going to be with me. Warren, you know you fucked up, right? I know you sit back watching these interviews like, damn. I'm sitting here over explaining about how we stole Nolan's phone and didn't give it back to him. So it wasn't a location tracker on what we put his body. Allegedly. Trying to bro. Let me play that again, fam. Let me play that again.
Once, and I've been out the Highland my whole life.
Salute to you, Monica.
That's just not something people do.
Salute
people
to the
are
family.
on their phones.
Salute to the family. Salute to the team. Salute to my channel members. I appreciate you guys for joining me on this evening. Thank you guys so much. While you guys coming on in, make sure you guys smash that like button. Let's get the likes up. And let's continue, family, to cook this lying big nose motherfucker. God damn, Warren.
And everybody has their phone, yes, but it's always on the boat. No one's getting off the boat with their phone. So
hold on, I gotta go back. Y'all gotta listen to this, family. Y'all gotta listen to
no one's sitting there scrolling on their phone. I never saw that once. They're using it real quick and then putting it right back on the boat.
Okay, he said somebody used their phone real quick and they putting it back on the boat. Family, do y'all believe this stupid ass shit? Do y'all believe people are getting off the boat, going to the island, inside the lake, taking their pictures, making videos, doing what you do on social media, and then going to run back to the boat, put your phone in the boat, and then go back to the island? That's what he... I'm getting pissed off for listening to this dude.
We were all waist deep in water. No one's sitting there scrolling on their phone. I never saw that once. I've never seen that once. And I've been out
He never seen that once.
The Highland my whole life. I mean, that's just not something people do. People aren't on their phones. And everybody has their phone, yes, but it's always on the boat. No one's
not.
Getting off the boat with their phone.
Why are you lying?
So you guys get ready to leave out of there, getting towed out.
Yeah.
And then where's Nolan in this situation?
Well, the last time I saw Nolan was 3:00, and Nolan was cradling a girl in his arms, Katie. Katie.
This imaginary Katie.
Nolan was sitting there, and the last time I saw him, I looked at Nolan, and Nolan was like shaking his head, laughing, and I was like, "Dude, you crazy?" I was like just joking with him, and but anyway. Nolan, that was the last time I laid eyes on him. But when we were leaving, obviously, no one is getting left at the island that came with us.
I want you guys to pay attention to that. He said the last time he seen Nolan was when Nolan had his arms around this mysterious girl named Katie, right? And it was at 3:00. Keep that in y'all mind. Lock that in y'all mind. Lock that in y'all mind. The last time Warren seen Nolan was at 3:00, and Nolan had his arms around Katie.
No one is getting left at the island that came with us unless they demanded to, be there and asked, this is a very common thing at Horn Island. When you're out there, a lot of people ride out there with someone and in with somebody else all the time. I've done that 100 times. You know, it's a very common thing, but Nolan was sitting by the boat with that Katie girl, and my buddy yelled for Nolan, get on the boat. We're leaving. The boat's having issues. And like, no, he didn't say that, but he was panicking. Nolan, get the F on the boat. Get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, I'm staying out here. I'm going to ride in with somebody else. And it's not uncommon to hear, but it's not like my buddy asked him one time. My buddy asked Nolan multiple times to get on the boat. Nolan, get on the boat. Get on the boat. We're leaving. If you're coming, you got to come now. And Nolan made a decision to stay out on the island. And like he said, you know.
How many people heard that? Were there just,
at least
just a
5
few, or?
I mean, everyone that was on our boat right there, because the Palm Beach had already left. My buddy went ahead and went home on the Palm Beach. And
right. Everything is a common thing with this guy. It's very common that somebody don't never have their phone. It's very common. Everything is very common with this guy. And he said that the last time he seen Nolan was when Nolan had his arms around him at 3 o'clock. Now he's saying that, Nolan was sitting by the boat and his friend was, demanding that Nolan get on the boat. And Nolan demanded, right, that he wanted to stay behind with this mysterious girl, Katie, because everybody putting the blame on Katie. That's what these white guys are doing. All of them are taking the attention away from them by saying, hey, I last seen Nolan at 3 o'clock with his arms around Katie. But then Katie said that Nolan stated that he was leaving with the guys. And then on the last video clip, he said it was 4,000 people out there. Nobody seen Nolan. So Katie made it home. So they made it home safe with Nolan phones and car keys. He stayed there with Katie. Then Katie go home alive. Ain't nothing happened to her. And then everybody out there that was there on the 4th of July made it home. But all of a sudden, Nolan's body get pulled out the lake unalived. And it was boats out the boats, out the boats, out the boats. These are Warren words. Thousands of people. But he was with the Katie girl. But then the Katie girl said that he was leaving with the boys. Shout out to Free Thinking coming in with the $5 super chat. Show love to you and the family. I love my people. Thank you so much, Free Thinking. Absolutely. Love to the family. I love my people. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Free Thinking, for the $5 super chat. Shout out to you.
3 guys on the way back. And Nolan wasn't the only person to ride out there with us and in with somebody else.
Okay, Warren. He wasn't the only person that rode out there with y'all and left with somebody else, but everybody else made it home but Nolan, though. That's what you're not understanding, Big Nose. Everybody else made it home that night except for Nolan. And we seen hundreds of people. You said 4,000 people. You said that the island was 11 miles long, full of boats, full of people. We seen video clips of people swimming, people on the island, people in the sand, people recording. Even though you said it's not common for people to have their phone out, it was plenty of people recording. But you know what the difference is, Warren? Nolan didn't make it home. Katie made it home. You made it home. Those people that didn't come back on the boat with you made it home. Somehow they found a way to get on somebody's boat and made it home. But all of a sudden, they pulling Nolan's body out of the lake. And you don't know shit. Katie don't know shit. Nobody know nothing. Warren, I know you had something to do with it. I know for a fact. I'm standing on it.
I mean, we had multiple people in our group that rode out with us and rode in on someone else's boat. And that, like I said, that's not an uncommon thing to do, you know? I mean, a lot of people do that. I could name probably 50 people out there that day that ran out with somebody and ran back in with somebody else. So, I mean, it's not like it's an uncommon thing, but it's not like we just left him there or my friends just left him there.
You did leave him there. He wasn't on your boat. You didn't give him his cell phone. The other people that got off your boat, they found the way back onto somebody else's boat and made it home. Katie made it home. Everybody made it home but Nolan. Somehow this is not registered inside of Big No's head. He didn't make it home, Warren. And it was thousands of people out there. Make it make sense, sir.
Nolan made a decision to stay on the island after
He made a decision.
My friends asked him multiple times and told him to get on the boat, and he decided to stay.
Wow.
And I heard the girl that he was with, Katie, had text somebody that she heard people yelling
Correct.
for Nolan to get on it. Is that true?
And I have a picture of that. She texted my buddy, and the next day everybody was panicking, and everybody's texting Katie, you know, because she was obviously seen with Nolan the whole day at the island. Katie sent a message to my buddy the next day and said, you know, this is the last time I saw him, you know, he's really sweet. But she also mentioned that the last time she saw Nolan was when my buddy was yelling at him.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Another jump cut, family. Another jump cut. He said something, but Officer Tatum, being the boot-licking Sambo white ass kisser that he is, he's editing this video and chopping it up. And all they doing is sitting down having a conversation. Pay attention, family. Check this out.
My buddy was yelling at him to get.
Bro, what the fuck? Peep this out. I just got to make sure we highlight this, because we got to point out the disingenuine behavior of Warren. Warren is not being honest with us.
He's really sweet. But she also mentioned that the last time she saw Nolan was when my buddy was yelling at him to get on the boat. And she was right there to see that Nolan decided not to.
Yeah.
So Katie, last time she seen Nolan was when y'all was yelling at him to get on the boat. So he stayed there with Katie, right? But let me play you guys this video, right? We're going to get back to this interview. I just want to highlight something real quick, because they pushing all the blame on Katie. I want you guys to listen to this.
Having a good time. And then it came time to leave, and so Wyatt was like, Nolan, get on the boat. Like, come on, we're leaving. And Nolan was talking to that girl, Katie McCormick, and he was like, oh, I'm just going to go back. I don't want to go off. TikTok only lets you send 1 minute video.
Well, I know.
But he was like, oh, I'm just going to go back with Katie. And we'll be right behind y'all. We were all going to the same house, the same place. He was like, I'll be right behind y'all. Y'all go ahead without me. I'll see y'all at, like, I'm literally going to be right behind y'all, whatever. Wyatt and all them left because they were
She started crying.
Gonna go with Katie, whatever. Well, then everybody got back in, and we were all at Ava's house.
She said everybody got back in. Everybody made it home to Ava's house. Let's keep going.
And Wyatt was like, where's Nolan?
Wyatt was like, where's Nolan?
He was like, isn't he coming with Katie and them? And they were like, yeah. And Warren was like, let me call him and ask where he is. Or Warren was like, I have his phone. Like, somebody call Katie and ask where he is. And then they called Katie.
They don't even know this.
And that's when they found out that that Nolan never went with her either. She said that Nolan never went with her.
She said, Katie said, no one never went with her. But Warren and Watt and everybody running with this narrative that Nolan wanted to stay behind and hang out with Katie. But they called Katie, and Katie said, hey, he didn't stay back with me. But Warren is sitting here on this interview saying that, hey, we last seen him with Katie. He wanted to stay back with Katie. And then he said, Katie said the last time she seen Nolan was when he was at the boat being yelled at by one of Warren's friends. So which one is it? Which one is it? So y'all saying he stayed there with Katie. Katie said the last time she seen him was when y'all was yelling at him to get on the boat. So between that time of y'all seeing Nolan, Warren, yelling at him to get on the boat, and Katie standing right there by the boat, and Katie said that's the last time she seen Nolan, where the fuck happened to Nolan? What happened to Katie? I don't know where he at. The last time I seen Nolan, he was standing by the boat. Warren, hey, the last time I seen him, he had his hands around Katie, and we tried to get him on the boat. Everybody just saying different. Lock all these motherfuckers up.
And so, no one knows what happened. Like, literally no one knows what happened to him, and it's so fucking heartbreaking. And it's sick that people are sitting there blaming that on Eric and all them, like his childhood best friends. Like, it's sick. And none of them would ever do that to him. And, like, people are literally texting me, like, threatening me and shit. It's like, bro, I don't know, it's just so upsetting.
It's just so upsetting. Shut up.
You heard that bullshit right there.
So you guys get in the boat.
Get the lights
you
up,
start
family.
to get towed in, and you make it back. Now explain how did you get to the point where you were concerned about Nolan? Because obviously you said, "Hey, Nolan, y'all need to," or somebody, not
When
you,
did I get
but
to that point?
you guys had made mention Nolan need to get on a boat.
Yeah.
How did you get to the point where you were concerned about Nolan? Because obviously you said, "Hey, Nolan, y'all need to," or somebody, not
When
you,
did I get
but
to that point?
you guys had made mention Nolan need to get on a boat.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah.
You guys get back to wherever you're going.
Right.
Explain that. Did you guys go back to somebody's house, or you guys like what happened there? And then when did you feel like, well, wait a minute, where's Nolan?
Right. Okay. Well, running in was very chaotic. I mean, Nolan chose to stay on the island, so my focus wasn't on anything else other than the boat, you know, because if the boat doesn't get in, then no one gets in, you know.
He always talking about he's focused on it. It ain't no Nolan. It ain't nothing else but the boat. My only focus is the boat.
Out there on my buddy's boat, and no one does, but my buddy Wyatt jumped out and pulled the plug on the boat once we kind of got out there, because he got the motor to trim down, and the motor trimmed down. My buddy Wyatt pulled the plug, and we planed off. We moved all the weight to the front of the boat so we could plane off, and eventually we planed off, and the boat was running. So when you're planed off and you have water in the boat and you're hauling, you know, we're going pretty fast. We're going probably 40, 42 miles an hour. And so all that excess water that was built up in the boat is coming out of the boat. So, I mean, that's what we had to do. So we ran into Fort Bayou, and we didn't just run straight to my buddy's grandparents' house. We ran into Fort Bayou. A couple of us jumped in the water, and Wyatt, like, the whole reason for the stop was so Wyatt could hop in and put the plug back in the boat. So then after that, we went and docked it, and I went back to my buddy's house, and we ate and, napped for a little bit. It was a long day at the island, so, we were all tired. And eventually we go over to a girlfriend of mine. She was having people over for 4th of July. We were doing like fireworks and stuff. So we all went over there to swim and, hang out. And
this infamous picture that I've seen online of Nolan in the water in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
Where is this picture associated with? Because you said you guys went back to swim. Nolan wasn't with you.
Yeah.
So where is this picture at? Like,
Right.
what's the context around that picture that's been floating?
That picture is taken on June 27th, a week before the 4th of July. We all went to a friend of ours in Pass Christian. We have a lot of friends from Bay St. Louis, Pass Christian. And we all went over there to hang out, and,
And Nolan was in that picture?
Nolan was in that picture. And if you look in the picture, my arm is around Nolan in that picture, And, that was a week before the 4th of July. So that picture is not associated within even the same, that was like a week before. So, yeah.
So you guys are now at swimming and having a good time at a lady friend's house.
Right. I never got to the pool. I talked to her dad for a while.
Okay.
And, all my friends were downstairs. I went upstairs, talked to her dad. We were talking about boats and stuff. And, I've been with my friends all day. I was just talking to everybody. But
So you talked to the young lady's
Have
dad.
you guys realized that he never knows shit? He never know nothing. He don't know shit. What was the point of this whole goddamn interview if he don't know nothing? Because Officer Tatum, you was very bold with your Instagram video saying that we need to apologize to these white boys, and you got evidence, and you know you about to expose the truth. All Warren is doing is fucking babbling. Where's the fucking truth and evidence at? I'm tired of listening to this big nose motherfucker just sit up here and lie. Where's the damn evidence that you said you had evidence to prove that we are wrong and we are going to apologize to these white boys? Where is the truth? All he's doing is, man, I don't know. I didn't see. I was focused. My attention went over there. I didn't see nothing. What are you trying to prove to us with chopping these clips up every single day if you're not providing nothing that we don't already know? What the fuck is all this babbling about? If he don't know nothing, what the hell you interviewing him for? I don't know nothing. Last time I see him, he was over there. God damn it, my attention over here. I was still in the pool.
And then how long was it before you realized, or you guys realized that, well, where's Nolan at?
I mean, I went back downstairs and all my friends were just hanging out, and my buddy Wyatt had addressed, talking about Nolan, and I was like, well, where is Nolan? Have y'all heard from him? And he was like, no, we haven't. And I was like, okay, well, it's a little concerning. Like, I mean, I'm not freaking out or anything, but like, I'm trying to find out where Nolan is. So I texted Javon and I was like, hey, and also a couple other buddies that I had at the island. I was like, hey, have y'all seen Nolan? Did he ride in with y'all? And all my buddies were like, no. Well, I texted Javon and I was like, hey, can you send me Miss Christine's number? Because I haven't heard from Nolan. And if she hasn't heard from Nolan, then I'm calling the Coast Guard. And so eventually Javon sends me her number.
Who is her? That's
Miss Christine.
Miss Christine is
Nolan's mom.
Nolan's mom. Okay.
Yeah. And I walked down to the dock because, I mean, there was a lot of people at Ava's. Not a lot, but, there was probably 15 of our friends there. And I was just like, walked down to the dock with a couple of my buddies, and I got on the phone. I called Miss Christine, called her the first time. She didn't answer. I called her a second time, and I got on the phone with her, and I asked her if she had heard from Nolan. She said no.
Yeah, I believe, Officer Tatum just rage baited us, family. That's what he did. He done hyped up this video like he about to have the title of this video, family, is Bombshell. Nolan Wells' best friend exposed why Nolan was left on the island. Bombshell. What fucking bombshell is this? He don't know nothing. He his intentions ain't on Nolan. He don't know nothing. Hey, Judge Ashley Cole, you thought this was a good idea for Nolan to sit down with this clown and do all this babbling and jump cutting and editing of this video? This don't make Warren look like he's innocent. He look more like a suspect. Because if I'm sitting down doing an interview and I'm talking about my childhood friend, hey, bro, don't edit nothing out. I have nothing to hide. This is my friend. This is my brother for real. What the fuck you editing this for? We sitting down on the couch. We're not moving around. You painting the camera to here. You painting the camera over there. No, this is supposed to be a transparent conversation. What all this damn editing for?
And I said, all right, well, don't freak out. I'm going to call the Coast Guard. And this was at about 11 o'clock.
So what's your intent in calling the Coast Guard, right? Because right now, Nolan could be with a chick. He could be with somebody else.
Right.
He could have gone back with somebody else. What made
he ain't gone back with nobody.
Concerned enough that you felt like you couldn't weigh it out anymore? You had to call the Coast Guard.
Well, I mean, like I said, my friends and I have been on the water our whole life. Stuff happens. People die all the time. I know people that have died out there. And, it's a fun place to be, but it's also a very, very dangerous place to be if you're not handling it right.
I ain't liking that nigga video.
Nolan, so I hadn't heard from him, and obviously I'm thinking I'd way rather be safe than sorry. I mean, I would rather call the Coast Guard 100 times and lose my mind over it, and my buddy be okay, than, not, and me not know where he is and him not be okay. And so I called the Coast Guard and I talked to them on the phone for like 20 minutes, gave him a description, what Nolan was wearing, the last place we were at, the last time I saw him, who were we with, what boat we were on, the conditions of the water, just a summary. And I called Miss Christine back after and I talked to her and I said, I got in contact with the Coast Guard. I'm not sure who she called or, what she did, but I think she said.
Shout out to Calvin coming in with the $3 super chat just for the love for the family. Thank you so much, Calvin. I appreciate that.
She was going to make a couple phone calls to either
Yeah, he know he
DMR
lying.
or Jackson County Sheriff's Office. And
he just juicing his
I mean,
story
yeah,
up.
I was thinking worst case scenario. Like, I mean, I would way rather be safe than sorry about this,
Yeah, so you called. So it seems like you called mom immediately.
Right.
Probably the first phone call that she got from anybody.
That's the first phone call, like, at least I made. And I would assume that's the first phone call she got from anybody.
Yeah, he said people be dead all the time at Horn Lake. People die all the time.
Because Javon hadn't called her. And, there's nothing wrong with that, but Javon hadn't called her. And, I mean, I was just worried about my friend. Stuff happens out there, boat problems. It could be anything. But, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens out there. And I was just worried about my friend.
And so you guys made that call, nothing that night. And I'm assuming you wake up the next day, and then what happens?
I wake up the next day at about 7:30, and my dad had texted me because obviously Nolan's photo was all over Facebook, and I just saw it everywhere, and I was freaked out because I was like, oh my gosh, like I assumed Nolan's just we had been drinking all day, and like that he's just sleeping somewhere, and that he's okay, but I didn't want to believe that if we didn't know for sure. So I mean, next day I woke up and my stepdad walked to my room and he said, hey, like, have they heard anything about Nolan? Like, what's going on? Because I hadn't spoke to him, and he was like, I was like, yeah, no, like, I don't know. I had just gotten up, and he was like, all right, well, we're going and getting on the boat and looking for him. And I was like, okay, yeah. So I got my buddy Ricky, I got my buddy Brooks, and I got my buddy Jax. My mom came on the boat with my stepdad and I, and we all went out there and looked.
Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all the video of them coming, of them getting in the boat and coming back. I think that's on part 2.
When I got out there was
Yeah, I think he evolved.
dozens of DMR boats, helicopters, planes flying over Horn Island. And this wasn't just Horn Island. There was also Ship Island they were looking at, I'm sure, and Chandelier Island, Petty Boy. I mean, it wasn't just Horn Island specifically, but where I was at Horn, there were boats everywhere, and not just like random boats, but like, marine resource boats and, cops and, the whole nine. Like, it wasn't like there was just a couple boats looking for Nolan. There was planes and helicopters and, everybody. So.
And then after this, obviously they didn't find Nolan that day.
Right.
And so what was your reaction like when you heard the news, or how did you hear the news that they found Nolan's body?
Well, the next day, it got to be about 1:00 on July 5th. And I was like, my mind started to turn. I was like, man, if he's not awake yet, like, where is he? Like, I got very, very worried. And, I was with my buddy Brooks the next day, and we're driving.
Guys, I want you guys to keep this in mind too, family. We are 20 minutes into this video. This is part 3, family. This is part 3. Officer Tatum is juicing his damn interview. You have not heard the words, rest in peace, condolences, my heart is broken, I'm sad, none of that. And this is part 3. But this supposed to be your brother, your childhood friend. Everybody running around with the narrative is, oh, he wouldn't do nothing like that. Nolan is his childhood friend. But no rest in peace, no emotion, just I don't know nothing. My attention ain't nothing. And you want us to believe you had nothing to do with it, Warren. You don't know shit. Shout out to AQ coming in with the $5 super chat. Gentlemen, I really believe they lying about that photo. Was Nolan there on the 27th? Has anybody confirmed it, or we just taking their word for it? I'm not taking his word for nothing, but he said that video was on the 27th. It wasn't, it was weeks before the 4th of July. That's what he said. I'm not taking what he said with a grain of salt. I don't believe nothing Warren said. Not nothing. Zero. But he confirmed he's saying it. But his friend that had that photo on his Instagram, he deleted it. He deleted the photo off his Instagram page. But shout out to you, AQ, for the $5 super chat. Shout out to When Tay Talk. For the record, no one ever passed on that island. If it's so dangerous, then why would y'all leave him there, especially if he was drinking? Good question, When Tay Talk. Because you know what? They didn't give a fuck about Nolan. In my opinion, they brought his body back to that island, allegedly. All this, I don't know shit. I ain't seen Nolan. The last time I seen him, it was with Katie. Then they called Katie. Katie said the last time she seen him when he was at the boat getting yelled at by his buddy. All this ping-ponging back and forth. We seen him with you. No, I seen him with you. No, I seen him at 3 o'clock. No, I seen him at 4 o'clock. But he said people die all the time at Horn Lake, but you going to leave your friend there by himself, assuming that he going to hop on somebody else's boat? And then you take his phone, his only form of communication, you going to take it with you. Don't make no sense. But shout out to you, When Tay Talk, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you.
And my buddies were texting my group chat. They were like, hey, listen. And then I got a phone call from my buddy Trace, and he was like, hey, man, they just found his body. And I was like, I wanted to have hope, but it was really, really hard to have hope when they haven't found your buddy in the last 2 days. And but there's still a little bit of hope there, like maybe, he's not gone, and maybe, he's okay.
No emotion.
But my reaction was just, I was with my buddy Brooks, and I broke down. I mean,
no, you didn't.
I haven't experienced death a lot, but especially with someone I'm as close with as Nolan. And
why is the camera on him?
And I sat there.
Get the camera off this fat ass nigga. Why is we looking at Officer Tatum? I don't want to look at him with his triple D's. Why is the camera on him for too long?
Buddy Brooks' shoulder, and I cried.
Shout out to From Downtown coming in with the $10 super chat. Stay dangerous, family, and always watch your six. Facts, From Downtown. Salute to you. I appreciate you for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much.
I was upset. I made a couple phone calls to my buddies and checked up on my buddies because, I care about my buddies too. I mean, like, we're all experienced this. Like, we all realized at the same time. We all heard the news at the same time. Like, he's gone. And so it was really, really hard on me. I mean, I've never experienced something like this, and it was traumatic. I mean, I could tell you where and when
Boy, if it was traumatic, you showing it, Warren. You showing it right now. You broke down. It was traumatic. You was sad. You was crying. Yeah, you showing us, Warren, how sad and traumatic it was, bro. You definitely showing us. Shout out to AQ coming in with the $5 super chat. If he stayed with Katie, why are you worried? Your boy was with a chick, right? Why worry? It's a lie. They offed our brother and brought the body back. Facts. That's what I think, AQ. That's what I think until they prove me otherwise. That's what I'm running with. Y'all done something to Nolan and brought his body back to that island. Because all of a sudden, on July 6th, his body washed up to shore. And you sitting here talking about I broke down. Not one time have you showed any type of emotion. The only thing you've been focusing on doing this interview, Warren, is trying to make sure you remember your lines that you and Judge Coles went over. Thank you so much, AQ, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. You kept, I don't know. I don't remember Officer Tatum jump cutting through this damn interview. But you broke down. And it's only been 2 weeks, family. I want you guys to think about this. It's only been 2.5 weeks. You still should feel some emotion. And not only that, you didn't even attend the funeral. So you're doing a damn good job showing us how emotional you felt when you got the news that Nolan Wells was unalive.
I was there when I got that phone call, where I was. And I just remember, like, it was insane. Like, I can't even put into words how upset I was, and how upset my friends were. So.
And then comes the stories and the backlash and, and the craziness. I mean, you guys are now hearing that you're responsible for it. You did it. You killed Nolan. So what was the next step? Did you guys ever engage with police or?
Yeah. So the first time I talked to the police was July 7th. I talked to the lead investigator and I told him my whole story, top to bottom. Dotted every I, crossed every T. I told him everything I knew, every little detail. I mean,
so he just confirmed that he spoke with the lead investigator, told him everything we knew from top to bottom, even small details. So this disproves that Officer Tatum on the internet talking about I got evidence, I got the proof, they're innocent, I got this, I got that. You guys gonna be apologizing. So whatever Warren told you or showed you, or whatever he's displaying in this interview, the sheriff department got it. And they didn't come out and say nothing about no evidence on nothing. So what are you talking about, this bombshell evidence that you got? Bro, you really just rage baited us to watch this dumbass interview that didn't prove nothing. But you said you got evidence. Evidence. Physical evidence. And all you got is a testimony. A testimony. That's all this is. A one-sided testimony. And you think that you cracked the case. You solved the case because you sat down and you talked to Big Nose. The same shit that he said to you, he gave to the police. So where's the evidence?
everything I could, tell them to try to figure something out,
Well, you don't want to talk to the cops or
no, of course
some
not.
Other guys do?
Every person that was included, especially, the guys that you see on social media, everybody cooperated with the police fully. Nolan was with us on the way out and he rode out on the boats with us. So, we were the first people to get questioned. We cooperated with the police the first time they called us and, we talked to them, as soon as they needed, and we were fully cooperative.
And
yeah, you right, Goham. I think he pissed off at Watt too, because they didn't finish the job. They was hoping that Nolan's body didn't, float back on shore. So he pissed off. That's why he got to come forward first to try to clear his name. See, Judge Cole know the truth. Judge Cole know the truth. He told Judge Cole the truth. That's why Judge Cole said, you know what? Fuck. They found his body. They doing independent autopsy. That's why she put in the call to make sure that examiner didn't send Nolan's throat out there to the DC to do the second autopsy. She kept the throat and the organs. So she said, you know what? Get out there, talk about how you didn't see anything, where the last time you seen Nolan, you was only focused on the boat, and put all the attention on Nolan, put all the blame on Nolan. Nolan was demanding to stay on that island. He demanded. And he was last seen with Katie. That's the play. Because he know they fucked up. He know that this plan that they had to try to get rid of Nolan's body didn't go as planned.
See Benjamin Crump coming to town, made it about race.
Right.
What's your feeling?
Why would you lie like that? Why would you lie like that? Why would you sit up here and lie? Talking about some Benjamin Crump came into town and he made it about race.
As soon as they needed, and we were fully cooperative.
And we see Benjamin Crump coming to town, made it about race.
Right.
Benjamin Crump, you need to sue him for slander because Benjamin Crump didn't make this about race. Actually, Benjamin Crump been doing a damn good job and standing on business, and he been a man of his word. He's been delivering on everything he been saying. He ain't been making this. Y'all think everything is about race when people defend black people. Whenever black people stand up for one another and support one another, Officer Tatum gonna say, y'all trying to make this about race. No, Officer Tatum, you making this about race. This interview is about race. You went down there to Mississippi and made this about race because you got on your platform and said we need to apologize to these white boys. You made this about race, you fool. Shout out to AQ coming in with the $2 super chat. He got an eagle face, bro. That nose so goddamn big. That nigga nose. Shout out to AQ with the $2 super chat.
What's your feeling about that? Do you think that any of this has anything to do with race, or because I mean, obviously something happened to Nolan. It appears that you guys may not have been involved at all. When I say may not, it's no evidence that you were involved at all. Right. You guys had left.
Right. How you know that they weren't involved in all? Why would you say a bold statement like that, Officer Tatum, and don't have no evidence to back that up? How you gonna make a bold statement and say it's no evidence that y'all wasn't involved? We don't know that. The investigation is still ongoing. We don't know that they wasn't involved. What proof that you got to say something like that? These are leading statements, leading questions. He's trying to keep the attention off Warren because Warren fed him this lying-ass story that he's this innocent white boy that felt sorry for his black friend, but he gonna sit down and do an interview with a anti-black man like Officer Tatum. How you gonna say they had nothing to do with it? Shout out to Integrity coming in with the $5 super chat. Didn't say nothing, just showing love. Thank you so much.
May not have been involved at all. When I say may not, it's no evidence that you were involved at all.
How you
guys
know?
Had left.
How you know?
But do you think that there's a racial component to any of this?
Of course not. I mean, I think if Nolan ever felt the most little bit uncomfortable around us, which we never gave him a reason to, but if he did, he wouldn't hang out around us. But if you go look on, like my friends have had Nolan posted all over our social medias, since freshman year.
And he also deleted that picture that y'all took on January the 27th. He deleted that off his Instagram page. Don't leave that part out, Warren. That picture in the pool that was on your friend Instagram, he deleted it. Why he do that, Warren? But it's not about race.
High school, if Nolan ever felt uncomfortable with us, why would he be hanging out with us all the time? I mean, every day we're back from college, we hang out and we're around each other all the time. So absolutely not. I would never look at Nolan any other way than I would any of my other friends. I mean,
so why you didn't go to his funeral? You wasn't afraid. You wasn't scared for your safety. You deleted all your social media. This your first time speaking in 2.5 weeks. A scripted interview, by the way. A rehearsed interview, by the way. But you got so much love for your black friend. Stop it, dude.
Like a brother to me.
You guys had been interviewed by law enforcement. Mm-hmm. All of you guys have given statements. But then I think that there's a part associated with this that's being rumored out in the public, and that is the situation with the cell phone, potential deletion of messages. When did that occur, and what happened there?
Damn, he doing a part 4? God damn, he juicing the shit out of this story. A part 4, family? This is demonic, bro. This is demonic. This guy is juicing the hell out of this shit. Part 4 coming soon. What more babbling can Warren say? Hey, Warren, if you watching this, dude, you need to start snitching on people because these interview clips, it's making you look suspicious, dude. You're contradicting yourself. You're lying. You forgetting your you know what I'm saying, what you're supposed to be saying. You might as well just come forward and start snitching on Watt and the rest of them. Because we know that Nolan got into a fight with Watt. We know that Nolan is not your best friend. Nolan is just a friend inside of your friend group. Family, you know how you got a friend or, you know, one of your friends introduce you to their friends? That's how that is. Nolan is cool with these white guys, but he's not a part of the group. If I'm making sense. Like, he's not a part of the group. But Officer Tatum saying that this a part 4, bro, like, god damn. This guy ain't show no emotion, no nothing. But he care about Nolan so much.
Some of the boys that they're accused.
So, family, this is part 2. I didn't get a chance to look over part 2. This video is 13 minutes long. It says Nolan Wells' best friend exposed the truth, right? The truth with no facts on Horn Island. Exclusive interview, part 2. We ain't heard no evidence. We ain't seen nothing.
Some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on.
If I'm sitting waist deep in water and all my friends are, everybody's leaving their phone on a boat. I open the back hatch and there's water up to the batteries. And that is obviously not good. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with. And the girl is a witness to that too.
Yeah. We're in
still
Mississippi
running with
right
that
now.
narrative.
We're getting ready to recount the exact path that the boys took, also with Nolan Wells, from where they docked the boat at, all the way out to Horn Island and back. The boys are going to explain to me exactly what went on, how many people were there, how many boats were taken out, which I think the world is going to be completely dumbfounded when they realize what the truth really is, because the lies have been pervasive. So
The truth, he keep using this word, what the truth really is, but he's not stating any truth. And he don't have nothing to back up his truth. You're not presenting no evidence. You just talking to Warren, big nose ass. Where's the truth? If you telling the truth, Officer Tater Tot, you need to say, well, here go this screenshot, this video clip. We got time steps, we got GPS, we got locations, we got other testimonies. Nothing.
we're right here where Nolan left on the boat, and you'll find out how many people were there, how many boats. And then we're going to take that same path out. I'm going to go look at Horn Island and see exactly.
Smash that like button, family. Thank you so much for joining me on this evening, family. I appreciate you guys. I know that this is a tough watch, family. It's a tough watch for me too. Like this, all of this is like, bro, what the fuck?
Where they could have been to get a perspective that the media don't.
Exactly. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real said he got a part 4, but the police don't have a part 2. Exactly. He got all these different parts. During his layout, he said, I got evidence. Y'all gonna apologize. We seen part 1, part 3. We finna watch part 2. And you haven't presented no evidence about the disappearance of Nolan Wells. That's all we want to know. Everybody is asking the same question, Officer Tatum. What happened to Nolan? You trying to present Warren to be this beloved friend that he was concerned, he had nothing to do with it, and you trying to make him look good to the public, but it's actually making him look worse because he's sitting down with you. See, you fucked up interviewing these boys because you are anti-black racist Sambo. So I know any white person that sit down with you is a racist. So we have already established that Warren is a racist. Judge Ashley is a racist. His whole family is a racist. Because why would he sit down and interview with a man that degrade people that look like Nolan? His brother, his best friend, the person he grew up with. He going to sit down and talk to you? Yeah, Warren is a racist piece of shit.
Don't even care to try to do. And then we're going to take the trek back, and we're going to find out exactly what happened to Nolan. This is the reason why I'm here, man. I want you guys to have a voice.
He said we finna find out exactly what happened to Nolan.
Take the trek back, and we're going to find out exactly what happened to Nolan.
Okay, family. He just made a bold statement. We about to find out what happened to Nolan in this video. That's what Officer Tatum just said. Let me play it back so you guys won't think I'm lying.
Out exactly what happened to Nolan. This is the reason why I'm here, man. I want you guys to have a voice. I want you guys to be able to speak out and show what the truth really is, and then let the world decide. I just don't want you guys to end up in a situation where your story never gets heard. Right here is where Nolan and probably 20 other kids got on the boat. So it's not just Nolan and 3 other kids. That was a lie. That was a myth. I'm going to prove that.
Nobody said it was just them 3. We seen in the video, the cell phone footage, that it wasn't just them 3. Nobody said that. You're not disproving nothing, dude.
Right here is where the kids were docking, and we're gonna show you a video that coincided. I'm gonna walk.
I know, y'all. I know. I gotta show this. Like I skipped part 2 to show y'all part 3, but you know, I want to see this. I want to show you guys the surveillance video in this video.
Exact angle that the video is being broadcast from, so you know that I'm exactly where I say I am.
She said,
but the boys were here. Tons of people you'll see on the video is getting onto the boat, and they took 3 boats out. It wasn't just one. It wasn't just Nolan and 4 boys. It was a multitude of people on several different boats. And some of the boys that they're accusing wasn't even on the boat that Nolan was on. But let me show you from the vantage point where I have the video to prove that I'm here where I say I am. And so right now,
he really think he's
here's
doing
the angle that you're going to see on the footage. It's just from probably that boat to, you know, maybe about 30, 40 feet here to the right. And this is where the video is showing how many people were actually out there, actually getting on the boats. So therefore, it debunks very clearly that it was only Nolan and 4 boys going out here to Horn Island.
Nobody said it was just 4 boys. Actually, knowing that it was more than 8 people or 20 people on that boat goes in our favor. That means more eyes on Nolan. When y'all keep bringing up all these different boats, all these different people, do y'all know that it make y'all look even more suspicious? Because that means more people had eyes on Nolan. That means there are more witnesses that the sheriff department need to be speaking to, talking to, interviewing. Why are you just talking to Warren? You mean out of everybody in that friend group over there, only one decided to talk to you? Everybody else said they ain't got nothing to say. Somebody, DC said chapter 9.
All right, you guys, sorry about the sunglasses.
I really think that he really did this so he can have a vacation away from his white wife, because all of this is a waste of fucking time.
Very bright out here, and I never wear sunglasses, but we're at Horn Island in almost the exact same position where the boys were, where Nolan was. So if you look out right here, just so you guys can get a perspective, you have the Horn Island here. But I want you guys to put this in your mind, what this was like on that day. You have boats 2, 3, 4 deep from way down there where you can see all the way through here. You have thousands of people on this island, probably 2,000 people.
Okay.
So this wasn't some abandoned, secluded island.
Nobody said
where
that.
nobody's at. Obviously, this is a Monday, and there's a few people on the backside of the island, not a lot of people here. But on 4th of July, this is a celebration. And so this wasn't a small place where 4 boys took their black friend and dropped him off and never seen him again.
How you know that? How you know that? How you know that? You don't know nothing. You just assuming shit. But Officer Tatum, nobody said that they was in some island by themselves. We clearly seen video footage of hundreds of people. Like, do this dude really think we stupid? No, he really, he do, family. Officer Tatum really believe that we dumb. Because the way he talk about us and disrespect us, I think he believed that we dumb. And I know he feel like, yeah, I'm going to drop all these video clips and I'm going to show the black community that they're lying. The black community is going to apologize when I just show them a body of water and just standing out here with my stupid glasses on and not really giving them no evidence. I'm going to prove to him. I'm going to show the black community this. Bro, we knew it was plenty of people. It was the 4th of July. Of course, that island was full of people, which goes in our favor, meaning it had to be 1,000 to 4,000 witnesses that could have seen Nolan or what happened to Nolan. So you mean to tell me 4,000 people left that island that night and nobody had not one eye on Nolan Wells? 4,000 people, family.
This place was flooded with people. Tons of people, multiple boats, multiple friend groups. I mean, everybody's here having a good time. and then the boat gets towed out because it was getting
I
ready
got
to
you,
sink.
Calvin.
And so, and for what I was told, they told Nolan, get on the boat, man. Get on the boat. Get on the freaking boat. And he decided, because he's an adult, that he was going to stay behind. And all the boys that they've been accusing, and they saying it had something to do with his death, they were all gone at 4:30. They were all gone. And they told Nolan to get on the boat.
How you know they was all gone? You have no proof that they was all gone. What proof you got that they was all gone? We don't know that. How you know they didn't come back? The GPS saw the boat moving all around. You making a lot of bold statements with no proof. You're not even providing no proof. And you just talking, really. You think we believe you, Officer Tatum? I wouldn't even believe you if you told me that the sky was blue. I still wouldn't believe it. Shout out to AQ coming in with the $2 super chat. Trader Tot doing this BS. He's trying to win white people back. Exactly, AQ, because you know they be cooking his ass in his comment section. Whenever he hold them accountable, AQ, bro, he be all type of fatigue, N-word. His wife a mugshot. He low IQ. Israel paid him off. He's dumb. He's a victim. That's what type of audience he got. But his audience is so stupid, they still support him. They still run up his views. Look at him. Look at them in the comment section right here. This is my comment right here, though. I left my comment. I said, these dumbass videos actually make him look even more suspicious. Leading and scripted questions. None of this is real journalism. All of this is clout chasing, race hustling, trying to defend those white devils for what they did to Nolan. The rest of like, look at his comment section. Thanks for doing what the grand media, CNN, Fox refused to do. This format is incredible. And this is why I respect Officer Tatum. Again, thank you for coming to Mississippi and actually investigate. What investigating work he did? What fucking investigating work he did but standing his fat ass out there on the island and just talking about, you guys, I got the proof. Thank you, Officer Tatum. Thank you for doing. Look how stupid these people is in the comment section. Thank you for letting us hear from those boys. They could have been got heard. They chose not to get heard because they deleted all their social media. So happy to see you do this, not only for Nolan. He's not doing this for Nolan, but for his best friends. Everything's been done to them is unfair. Like, look how stupid, like, you guys see why he goes so hard, because these people so damn dumb.
And then there was a report of somebody seeing Nolan around 6:30-ish. And so for them to come out and claim these lies, won't take the time to come to Horn Island, won't take the trip out here to figure out what happened, won't talk to anybody.
Why the fuck was shit? What coming out there gonna solve? What we coming out there for? You act like we can just pull up and just demand shit. Like, what you mean come out there and not talk to nobody? If I go out there and knock on Warren's door, you think he gonna talk to me? You think if I email Judge Cole after she review my content, she gonna want to sit down and do an interview with me? No, of course not. They gonna sit down with you because you the safe black. You the bootlicker, you the Uncle Tom. You the Sambo. You keep talking about everybody else lying, but you haven't presented any truth.
Pushing an agenda is wrong. And that's the reason why I came out here. I wanted to see for myself, what did this look like? What could have happened? Does the stories line up based on what I've seen and what I've heard from people that live here that were involved in this situation? This is where the lie started.
Everybody lying, family.
People were putting out on social media, knowing that they're lying, that this is what it was like on a day that Nolan and his friends came out here to Horn Island. And if it was 4 or 5 people and they came out here and Nolan was with them and maybe it was a few people out here like it is today and Nolan came up missing, then maybe it would be suspicious. But they didn't take the time to give context to the people because they're evil and they're liars.
Bro, nobody
So if it was
said
like that right now, when the situation happened, I can see how people had a concern. But you got to replay this moment with thousands of people here.
White too.
If anything would have happened directly involving Nolan and his friends, you can't tell me that thousands of people wouldn't have seen anything happen. And so that's pretty much why I wanted to come here and show you guys.
Salute to Global Friends Corner coming in with the $20 super chat. New subscriber here. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the family. Thank you for being over here. You are welcome. Your energy is needed. Thank you so much for your $20 super chat. Welcome to the family.
Guys, this is what they want you to believe it was like on that day.
Nobody,
which is a lie.
Nobody said it was like that, you fool. We seen the cell phone footage of hundreds of people out there on the boats in the water swimming. Who is you trying to convince here? It got to be these idiots in the comment section. It got to be these people. These the people who he trying to get validation from. Because I know he ain't talking about us. But if it was so many people out there, nobody saw Nolan. That's my only question.
I want you to believe they came to a secluded island, just 4 of them, and then Nolan is left behind, and then his body's washed up on shore, and nobody knows what happened. Nobody could have seen what happened but the boys. It's a flat-out lie. Is there anything that you want to say, you want people to know about this whole experience?
Yeah, I mean, from someone, if someone's not from here, it's kind of hard to understand, you know, where the island drops off and how the island works. But, you know, there's plenty of people out here, especially on the 4th of July. You know, this is where people come out to celebrate. And, I mean, if you film the water, you can see right here, Brandon, where it drops off. I mean, you can see literally where it drops off. So, I mean, it goes from about waist deep water right there to neck deep. And then it drops from neck deep all the way to like 17, 20 foot. I mean, we weren't even a quarter mile out the island and when we were leaving, and I mean, it was 30 foot of water.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're walking towards the east right now, but if you walk down to the west, that's where the west tip of the island is, and that's where the current picks up very, very bad.
People talk about the phone situation. I want to, because the way you articulate it, I just walked in the water with my pants, they're wet, and you can tell right away that if you're hanging out in the water, it doesn't appear, in my opinion, that you would have your phone on you. Is that typical for people to have their phones? Or?
Bro, they keep wanting to harper on this damn phone, bro. I don't give a damn, bro. I want my damn phone. Why y'all keep talking about, well, I'm right here, the water is up to me, and people don't, you know, it's not common for people to. I want my phone. I am taking my phone wherever I go. I'm not leaving my phone with nobody.
No, I mean, people come out here, especially on the 4th and, you know, Memorial Day, like, you know, days like that, they come out here to celebrate, and people get on the water to be off their phones, first off. Second off, if I'm sitting waist deep in water, and all my friends are, everybody's leaving their phone on a boat.
No, they
in a
not.
lake.
No, they not.
You know, if you're sitting on a pond, and no one's getting out of the water with their phone in their hand, unless, you know, it's to take a quick picture. But most of the pictures taken on the 4th of July were on the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, and, you know, salt water, if you drop your phone in salt water, most of the time you're not going to get it back. Yeah. I mean, you know, especially.
Bro, this over explaining about this phone and why they had Nolan's phone is very, very suspicious. This is part 2. We played part 3 earlier, and he was over explaining about why they had Nolan's phone. This is part 2. They still over explaining on why they had Nolan's phone, because they believe that nobody take their phone off the boat. Nobody want to have their phone on the island. Most of the video was taken on the boat. And he's trying to speak for everybody that come to this island, talking about it's not common for people to have their phone off the boat. That's a fucking lie. That is a lie. People have their phones all the time when they're in the water. They got protective cases. People have their phones all the time when they sitting on the beach, playing in the sand, walking around the island. This over-explain about why y'all had Nolan's phone, Warren, is making you look like a suspect, sir. This is very telling, and Officer Tatum keep asking you about this damn phone.
The water's murky right now because there's been a lot of rain. You can't see, the visibility isn't good. The water isn't clear like it was last year around this time. And, you know, like, No one has their phone though. Usually,
Nobody has their phone. Oh my.
Unless you're crazy. I'm not walking around with my phone in my hand. They've been walking around Horn Island. You know?
Okay, you not walking around with your phone, sir. That does not mean you speak for thousands of people that was on that island. Just because you don't have your phone, Warren, I want to make sure that you hear me, sir, because you stupid, your nose is big, and I understand that you are a very low IQ individual. You come from a very low IQ community. Stop speaking for thousands of people that you did not interact with. You don't know what they had on them. You didn't see everybody. Stop saying that everybody at the island didn't have their phone. How stupid of you to make that statement. And you know goddamn well everybody on that island had their phone on them. Bro, this interview, Sheriff, lock this food up right here. Warren, it's time to crack, bro. It's time to go on and snitch, dude. Don't go down with the rest of them. Be honest. If you come out and tell the truth now, you might get a lighter sentence. Come on, dude.
How many people left the phone on the boat? Was it just his phone when y'all left, or
Right.
did other people have phones on the boat?
Absolutely not. Like there was at least, well, I rode out here on a different boat, like I told you, and I grabbed my phone when I left the Palm Beach to get on the boat with Triton. To get on the boat with Wyatt because we were having, boat issues. And when I got on the boat, there was phones everywhere on the console. Everywhere. There was.
Family, these folks still talking about the phone. We get it. Nolan left his phone because it's not common that people got his phone. Y'all still trying to over-explain why people don't have their phones on the island? God damn. I am sorry, family, that y'all gotta go through this, but we gotta cover this. We just gotta cover this. But these motherfuckers is really trying to explain to us why people don't got their phone. Jesus Christ. Salute to Eric coming in, becoming a channel member. Thank you so much, Eric. I appreciate you for becoming a member. Thank you so much for that. Shout out to Barbara for gifting Eric to becoming a member. Salute to the family. Welcome to the team. We appreciate you. You are needed over here. Welcome to the family. Shout out to you for that. Shout out to Barbara for gifting a channel member. You are the real MVP. Shout out to you guys.
Everybody's phone that was sitting around the boat was on the console. Like we had phones that we didn't even know whose they were.
How many times you gonna say that?
How many times you gonna say that? Especially when people are drinking and they're not in the right state of mind. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll just leave my phone and I'll get it later, and that's the way it is around here. You don't take your phone and walk around the island. There's plenty of phones on the boat.
How you gonna say you just don't take your phone and walk around the island? How you gonna say that? You don't know that. So Warren speaks for 4,000 people that was on the island today. Just because Warren don't take his phone out the boat, which he already stated in the third part that he made a phone call to his mother on the island, and now he's speaking for 4,000 people that was on the island, saying that nobody walks around and use their phone. Nobody, family. Nobody. We are 9 minutes in. These people are talking about this damn phone for 5 minutes straight. This is part 2. Part 3, they over-explain about the phone. Part 2, they over-explaining about the phone. Shout out to Patrice coming in with the $5 super chat. Didn't say none, just show love. Thank you so much, Patrice. I appreciate you. You are the real MVP. Thank you guys so much for the jewels, for the gifts. Thank you guys for being here on this evening. I appreciate you guys. Let's keep cooking, family.
And, spread out between the 3 boats that we had. And, we had 20 plus people on the spread between our 3 boats. So of course, everybody's phone was on the boat. I never saw someone in the water that day sitting with their phone in their hand, scrolling on anything or even taking pictures in the water. Yeah, someone might hop out the boat. A lot of girls like to take pictures, in the water. And so do guys, but, girls want to take pictures in the water. Half a second, you might hop out the boat and be like, oh, I'm snapping this picture of myself or of someone else. But as soon as I get back in the boat, I'm putting my phone up and I'm getting back in the water and I'm hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, that's common
bro.
sense, man. I mean, and describe to me what the day was like. I saw a video online. How hectic was it out here? I mean, right now it's barren. There's not a lot of people out here.
Right.
But clearly that's not what it was on the 4th of July. So, like, how dense was it with people here?
Well, I mean, you look at all the videos, that are spread out online, and a lot of them, you can't believe what you see all the time online. You know that better than anybody. But, I mean, there was boats lined up all the way down the island. And there was rows. There was a first row, there's a second row. We were in the third row where it drops off.
So this is a screenshot on Saturday, July 4th, 2026 at 4:41 p.m. And these white dots over here around this land right here is boats. So all these boats, family, and I want you guys to look at this screenshot, right? There are boats surrounding the lake, all around this island, boats all around it. He stated it was over 4,000 people. I'm talking about it's boats all around it. Nobody seen Nolan. Nobody seen Nolan. All these boats, so you really couldn't even miss Nolan. You couldn't miss him because everybody, it's boats out there on the in the lake, in the ocean, and it's people surrounding this. So how did Nolan disappear in the middle of all this chaos that's going on this island? And keep this in mind too, family. Everybody went home this night. Nolan was the only person that didn't make it home. All these people on this island surrounding the island. Everybody wasn't in just one spot. The white dots around this land area right here are boats. And all of a sudden, Nolan did a genie in the bottle and he disappeared. And on July 6th, they picking his body up at the exact location where Warren them parked their boat. So it's eyes everywhere on this island. Everybody could have seen him swimming. Somebody could have came forward and said, yeah, I seen him. He rolled back with this person. Yeah, I seen him. He was wandering off on this part of the island. It's boats all around his family. But Nolan was the only one that didn't make it home.
And then there was even boats in front of us. And this went all the way down towards the east end of the island. And then there was people on the east tip. And we're on the north side now, but there was people on the south side too, lined up all the way down. And if you talk to anybody on the coast about this, they know that. Yeah. I mean, 4th of July, this is the hot spot. This is where people want to be. This is where people want to come out, hang out with their family and friends. And
people say that you guys just left Nolan behind. I've seen reports of people saying that you just left him. I see reports of people saying that you asked him to get on the boat. You told him to get on the boat. He didn't. What's the truth in that?
Well, Wyatt was having boat issues and the bilge wouldn't pump. So the bilge is basically a pump that releases water from your boat when water comes in. So I opened the back hatch and there's water up to the batteries. And that is obviously not good. There's water almost coming over the transom, which is where your motors sit and which is by the stern, like in the back part of the boat. So obviously we were in emergency. The boat, we're trying to save the boat. It's not like we didn't ask Nolan or we just...
There go a jump cut again. Jump cuts. Thank you for the jewels. There go another jump cut, family. I got to show you this.
The boat, we're trying to save the boat. It's not like...
We were trying to save the boat, and he jump cut to this right here. But this is supposed to be a genuine and transparent interview, but this is like the 4th jump cut in this 12-minute video.
We didn't ask Nolan or we just left Nolan. Nolan decided to stay on the island with the girl that he was with. And the girl is a witness to that too.
Yeah. I'm glad you cleared that up because
these folks just blame
I think
Nolan.
It's important for people to
this
have
what this
the
about.
Context.
This whole 4-part, 5th part, 20-part series is about blaming Nolan, bro. That's all this is about. put the blame on Nolan. Nolan wanted to stay by. It's Nolan's fault. It's not our fault, even though we had his phone, his car keys, anything for Nolan to communicate with anybody. I don't know nobody that stand behind with a girl and don't want his phone to contact somebody. This doesn't make sense, and these people is pissing me the fuck off because they talking to us like we dumb. Warren actually believe we dumb. Coming out here on this interview, over explaining yourself about the reason why you had his phone and you last seen him with a girl, and the girls can prove it. But Katie said that she last seen him with y'all niggas. And all these people surrounding the island. Somehow Nolan slipped. He slipped through the cracks. And his body in the lake. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Of like what it was on that day, what happened, what didn't happen.
Exactly, go ham. F Nolan, save the boat.
And the beauty of all of this is that you guys have evidence to prove that. Of course, you asked Nolan to come on and different things like that. So, but anyway, man, I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
You know, giving me a rundown of kind of what it was like on that day.
Right.
And hopefully people can understand what the truth is and make their own decision on facts.
Right. I mean, based off people. There's not a lot of people that are from the Mississippi Gulf Coast that don't understand Horn Island and don't understand the way boating works. And, boating is a tight-knit community. I like to fish a lot, and, there's, everybody, a lot of people know a lot of people. Everybody knows everybody. I know a lot of fishermen on the Gulf Coast. They know me and my buddies because we like to go in the water all the time. I mean, that's what we do in the summer. And, a lot of people from the Gulf Coast know the truth behind you don't take your phone out the boat. The little facts.
Here we go, family. Again, over-explaining about the phone. Over-explaining about that phone. That phone has to be key evidence in this case for Warren to keep. Part 1, he over-explained about the phone. Part 3, we went over. He over-explained. This video is 13 minutes, family. At least half of this video, these motherfuckers was trying to explain to us why nobody bring their phone on the lake. And here he go again, bringing up the phone. Listen, family.
I mean, a lot of people from the Gulf Coast know the truth behind you don't take your phone out the boat. The little facts. It's a difficult subject.
The little facts. This is not a fact, dude. This is y'all opinion that nobody bring their phone on the island. Are you dumb? What facts is this? You can't say that this facts when people bring their phone on that island all the time, and you admitted it that girls take pictures, even guys take pictures. They get off the boat and they record videos. And then you gonna say it's a fact that nobody bring their phone on the boat.
This Horn Island's like 11 miles long, not to be exact, but around 11 miles long. It's not like this is a sliver of an island. It's a quarter mile. It's like a sandbar. No, this goes on to, even if we came around this corner right here, Brandon, we couldn't even see the end of the island.
Oh, really?
It's that long.
Really?
Yeah, I mean.
I thought that was the end right there.
No. I mean, it goes all the way down there, and I mean, it's a big island. There's a lot of people out here, and I mean, that's the truth. That's the way it was.
He just said, what evidence did I miss? None. Zero. This is part 3. Part 3. And in no part of this series did he prove what happened to Nolan. These are his videos. They lied. The truth about Nolan. He lied. Everybody lied. All he's doing is Benjamin Crump get blasted after lying about Nolan Wells' autopsy. This is what his low IQ audience over there want to listen to, because the clear community don't want to be held accountable for nothing. All they want to be told is it's black people's fault. Black on black crime is the reason why they losers and incels, and they can't keep their hands off children, and they broke and dusty, and Trump is ruining their lives. So they have to run over here to Officer Tatum, a blackface, and listen to him talk shit about black people all day. Look at these dudes' video. This is bad. Black people ruin rentals. Just degeneracy. Benjamin Crump lied. He hasn't presented no evidence about nothing. Part 1, part 2, part 3. He got a part 4 finna come out. But this is the person that Nolan Wells chose. I mean, not Nolan. Warren Hudson, by the way, that's his last name, Warren Hudson, chose to sit down and do an interview with and didn't tell us not a goddamn thing. I thought this guy had so much goddamn evidence that it was going to be overwhelming. It was going to blow us out of the water. And all he did was gaslight us, family. Now, exactly. And I stated that earlier. Out of all of these, part 1, part 2, part 3, you didn't hear one rest in peace to Nolan. Condolences to Nolan family. My heart is broken. I miss my friend. None of that. It was just a bunch of over-explaining, trying to excuse himself out of the situation, acting like he wasn't paying attention to nothing. He was so focused on the boat drowning, putting all the blame on Nolan and this imaginary girl named Katie. And then when he heard the news, he broke down and he was sad. And it was thousands of people on the island. And somehow Nolan, maneuvered through 1,000 people. And, the narrative that they running with, that he drowned. So Warren didn't state not one time that Nolan went for a swim. Katie hasn't said that he went for a swim. No witnesses stated that Nolan went for a swim. So why is the clear community out here saying that Nolan drowned if y'all have no proof, no evidence that he went out there for a swim? So you either got to believe that he went for a swim with no evidence to prove that, or somebody threw him off the boat. Why the fuck are y'all keep saying that he's drowned? He drowned. But I expect that from the lineage of evil. Warren is a racist piece of shit, and he deserved to be in handcuffs in jail with no bond. Lock all 20 of their asses up. Because for Warren to come forward first lets me know that he know more than what he is presenting to the public. He's hiding something, family. He don't want to show it. And he can't tell it because his stepmother is Judge Ashley Cole. She's a judge and an attorney. She know what happened to Nolan. So she had to make sure that she saved her stepson ass, because everything is about to come crashing down once we get the rest of Nolan's organs and his neck and attach all his body parts together and do a thorough autopsy on him. They know what was about to happen. They know it. It was no point of him coming out doing this interview. You should have let the public speculate whatever they speculate, because you just made yourself look worse. And not only that, you chose this anti-black racist, and all he do is talk shit about black people all day on his platform, Warren. Black people all day. And you saying, hey, I want to speak on the behalf of my black friend, and I'm going to talk to an anti-black racist. And I'm just going to babble about a bunch of nothing. I didn't prove nothing. You didn't show us no shocking bombshell evidence. Warren just basically said, I gave the police everything that I had, from small to big, every little detail. But Officer Tatum claiming like he got evidence that the public don't got. But family, I want to show you guys this right here, right? This is who need to be questioned. This is who we need to keep our eyes on. This sheriff right here, I want you guys to pay attention to his behavior in this.
Reporting live from Irish Club, Fight Plus News.
Nolan is laid to rest. Well, they had a closed casket. I don't know. Is he laid to rest? Because they still got to do an autopsy on his body. They did a funeral, but they still waiting on his organs. I don't know how they work. They had a funeral, and it was closed casket, but his body is still, I don't know. I can't tell y'all.
Sure. Can I ask you a quick question really quickly? Can I ask you a question?
Look at his behavior, family.
Any extra details? Because we did just get the independent autopsy results today. Anything?
In the latest around the case of Nolan Wells, answers continue to be demanded about the teen's mysterious death that originally was positioned as an accidental drowning. County, Mississippi Sheriff's Office would go on to suggest in an interview before an autopsy was even conducted that he did not suspect any foul play. Now, the statement would go on to anger many and have some accuse Ledbetter of trying to cover up the case. Now, as more media begins circulating, it does appear that Ledbetter's early statement continues to bite him back. On Wednesday, immediately following the release of Wells' independent autopsy, a reporter from New Orleans' WDSU would ambush Ledbetter with questions about the case, the independent autopsy, and if he can provide any new information.
Sheriff, can I ask you a quick question really quickly? Can I ask you a question? I'm Chantel with WDSU in New Orleans. I came up here 2 weeks ago to meet with you, but I think y'all were in and out of meetings about the Wells case, and then they told me eventually you just weren't able to come out. So that was like July 8th. So I'm back now. I'm wondering if you guys will be releasing any more details concerning the case. The last thing I saw on your social media was on July 8th, the same day. So any extra details, because we did just get the independent autopsy results today. Anything that you would give us?
Not at this time.
Okay, so y'all are no longer answering questions about the case?
Yeah.
Look at him.
I know you're trying to get some edited footage, but
No, I'm just
You said
asking.
y'all trying to get some editing footage. No, dude, you the sheriff. She's asking you direct questions. Answer the fucking question. Why are you acting so goddamn shady like you scared to talk? Like you trying to cover up something. This is who we need to focus on too, family. This guy right here who, as soon as they found Nolan's body, he ruled it no foul play. And then all of a sudden he want to talk about the investigation is still open. A reporter is asking you a question, bro. Why you don't want to answer questions?
I'm just confirming.
That's all we're saying. We're actively investigating.
Thank you. My name is Chantel. We're from New Orleans, WDSU News.
He's deflecting, trying to shake their hand. This is deflection right here. He's very uncomfortable. He don't want to answer the question. Now he's asking their name and shaking hands and doing all that. This is a weird, despicable individual right here that's trying to cover up this case.
Okay. Yeah.
It's still actively being investigated.
Again, this was from the press conference this morning. When mom said that y'all were saying there was no foul play in the beginning, but now
No foul play.
Has anything changed since then at all, or?
Like I said, we're actively investigating the case. That's still active, ongoing.
Okay, you keep saying it's an active case going on, but you said no foul play. That was your statements when it first happened. That's what you said, Sheriff. What proof that it wasn't no foul play if you ain't even got the results from the autopsy yet? How you gonna come out and say ain't no foul play? And now you scared to talk about what you said. She confronted you head on, and you losing your mind, trying to shake hands, trying to distract. No, answer her questions.
Medical examiner did not release their report right at this time.
If I were you, I'd check with the district attorney's office too. Yeah, as far as I know.
He's so
You don't have to
uncomfortable,
publish
fam.
that. That's going through the district attorney's office. That's not.
Put the microphone up
We
to
don't do that. It's state medical examiner.
Now, the moment honestly looks to have caught Ledbetter off guard,
Look at his face.
but he would continuously state,
Look at his face right here, family. Look at that face. Do this look like a face of somebody that's being transparent? Do this look like a man of honesty and truthfulness? Because he came out and said, we don't see no foul play. The mayor even came out and said, we don't see no foul play. And now all of a sudden, when she just questioned him about that again, now he's saying, oh, it's an open investigation. Shout out to From Downtown coming in with the $5 super chat. Family, you're looking at Satan. Yes, indeed, From Downtown. Satan. That's exactly who we looking at. Thank you so much, From Downtown, with the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, bro.
that it is still an ongoing investigation.
Look at his face. Look at him. Look at this guy. You think he really trying to investigate Nolan Wells' case? After all those black deaths that they ruled not a homicide? He don't give a fuck about Nolan Wells.
In-depth questions and any thorough reactions to the results from this newest autopsy. Now, as you should know, Wells' parents and representatives are mainly after transparency and clear communication from Ledbetter and the local authorities, but it does appear that the sheriff's office is playing by their own rules instead of a collaborative approach, as they continue to remain tight-lipped about any new findings. Now, despite Ledbetter's lack of an in-depth update, many, however, would take to social media to share their reactions to the results from the independent autopsy, including several medical experts, to further elaborate on the findings.
I've done hundreds of autopsies on infants, toddlers, young teens, young adults, senior citizens, obese, morbidly obese, different ethnicities, suicides, murders, accidents, natural causes. I've done them all. So when you tell me there was an absence of the interior structure of the neck, my question is why and where is it? Was it recovered with the remains, or were the remains like this when you retrieve the remains? What part of his neck is missing? Has the soft tissue been preserved, or did the water damage or anything else disrupt what could possibly be used as information to find out the cause of death? Because if his neck is missing, then what caused his injury? The structural integrity of the neck, unless it was decapitated or dealt severe trauma, should be intact. So where's the portion of his neck? The interior, the inside of his neck is missing.
It's crazy.
Why?
And if you needed more time with Nolan's body, you should have talked with Benjamin Crump on that. Say, hey, Benjamin Crump, the family, the team, I'm going to get Nolan's body out there to Washington. As soon as I get done, I still need to run some more tests, do some more examination. Don't just send his body out there without his damn neck and his organs, and don't inform no goddamn body.
What can cause that type of damage to the neck and then the trauma to the back of the head? Did they strike him in the back of the head and stab him? Or did they shoot him in the neck? Right?
Yeah, the governor said the same thing too. I don't expect no foul play. They coming out making bold statements, family. These demons out here making bold statements talking about they don't expect no foul play with no evidence. The autopsy ain't been released. They don't know nothing, but they out here talking about I don't expect no foul play. This a cover up. This whole city down there is doing a cover up. But as long as we stay vocal, family, long as we stay united and keep belt to ass to them, they can't run away from it. They can't run away from this smoke. That's why they panicking right now. See, we smoke Warren out. We is the reason why Warren came out, because Warren has been getting so much belt to ass out here in the news media, it forced him to come out here and say something.
And he falls back and he hits his head. In which case, in my humblest opinion, he was murdered.
I'm Dr. Judy Malinek. I'm a board-certified forensic pathologist. And I just watched the Nolan Wells press conference. And I wanted to share some context for everyone. Being able to definitively state the cause of death after a body has not been found for several days and has been subsequently autopsied twice with signs of decomposition is incredibly unlikely. Drowning is what's called a diagnosis of exclusion, which means that when you've got a fresh body, you want to be able to look at the body and see if there's any other causes of death for that body that is found in water that exclude the death being exclusively a drowning. So for example, if someone is shot and then thrown in the water, you'll have that gunshot and they'll be bleeding and the gunshot will be the cause of death, and the thrown in the water is not the cause of death. It's not even on the death certificate. If a person is strangled and they die from strangulation and then their dead body is thrown in the water, their body will take on water, but the cause of death is going to be strangulation, not drowning. Also for any kind of traumatic injuries. His body was found 2 days after he disappeared, and this second autopsy done by Dr. Roger Mitchell wasn't until 4 days later. So we're dealing with quite a bit of decomposition, even if the body was refrigerated during that time. And then we have this other issue of the fact that not all the results are back. The toxicology would have been done on the fluids from the body from the first autopsy. From the second autopsy, you're going to have a lot higher alcohol levels from the decomposition caused by bacteria, not caused by drinking. And there's one other important piece of information from that press conference, which is that the neck block, the portion of the neck from the front end was missing. So Dr. Mitchell did not have a chance to examine that part of Nolan Wells' anatomy. Why is that
important? I still don't understand. Like, I get what they saying. They keep saying that it's normal for, an examiner to take out, the organs, and the second autopsy, they miss a lot of things because the first examiner still, but why rush it though? I would prefer for her to still just have Nolan's body and finish doing what she doing, then put all his body parts back together and then send his body to Washington. Because that did us a disservice just sending him out there. I know we got some type of information from the autopsy, but his neck and his organs was a key factor. And Dr. Turner knew that. And Dr. Turner had the body a week prior, and she still ain't came out with nothing yet. Talking about this took about 6 months. Now, what y'all trying to do is stall us out. But you must forget, me and the family, we patiently waiting, Dr. Turner. You ain't finna stall us out trying to take your time and tell us it's going to take 6 months. It's going to take 6 months then. We going to still be on here waiting 6 months.
Important because if somebody is strangled, especially manual strangulation, the injuries are going to be to the front of the neck. There may be some redness at the back of the neck as well if, injury comes from behind, but generally this part of the neck doesn't have the major blood vessels.
Shout out to Lala coming in with the $2 super chat. Who's to say they send Nolan's actual neck to DC? And that's what I'm concerned with, Lala. That's what I'm concerned with. I'm concerned that they might send out something different, somebody else's lungs, a different neck. And she still got his organs. She sent the body out there with no organs, no neck, no nothing. Man. Shout out to you, Lala, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you. That's my concern, bro. Like, this shit pissing me the fuck off, man.
And the airway, it's the front of the neck that does. So compression or damage to the front of the airway, that's going to be found in the neck block that is still sitting at the medical examiner's office that was not released with the body. So you may ask, is this common practice for pathologists to keep a portion of the anatomy with them at the medical examiner's office and not release it to the family? And the answer is yes. We will sometimes retain important specimens that have pathology in a jar under formaldehyde at the medical examiner's office for further examination or as evidence. And the absence of that neck block is really important because we still don't have information from the first autopsy that has not been released yet.
She said the neck portion is very important, and Dr. Turner, she knew that. She knew Benjamin Crump and them not having his neck was very important for them not to, because she knew they weren't going to have no information. That's why she was so just to throw their body out there. This is the lady, ladies and gentlemen. This is her. The chief medical examiner that has Nolan throat, his neck, and has Nolan organs. Chief medical examiner in Mississippi has never ruled mysterious black death a homicide. So she waiting around doing all this stalling, trying to stall us out, acting like we gonna forget and we gonna move on to the next, and then say, oh, she don't see no foul play. This woman, Trey Reed, was lynched with his hands tied. She ruled it no foul play, like it was, a self-deletion. We waiting on her, family. Yeah, we got to smoke Miss Turner out. We got to smoke her out. We got to be more vocal about her.
So we don't know if it was kept out of an abundance of caution, meaning that it didn't have any findings and it was negative, or it was kept because it has findings, because there's a broken hyoid bone, or because there's hemorrhage in the strap muscles. Until we get that first autopsy report, we don't know why it's been retained. So why should anybody do a second autopsy? A second autopsy is often done in cases where there is a high-profile case such as this, or there is concern from the family for foul play, and they're just not getting answers from the medical examiner's office because the medical examiner's office is still doing their investigation and is keeping things under wraps, because if there is foul play, They have the evidence. They have the physical evidence that might be able to trap the killer, and they don't want to release that to the public.
Mm-hmm. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. I believe they hiding something because they don't want us to track the unaliver and expose exactly what happened to Nolan. Absolutely. Let me play that part again. That's exactly what Dr. Turner is doing.
The coroner's office is still doing their investigation and is keeping things under wraps because if there is foul play, they have the evidence. They have the physical evidence that might be able to trap the killer, and they don't want to release that to the public. Mm-hmm. Even if there is no evidence of foul play, just the lack of evidence is evidence and is important information that might affect how people are interrogated, whether they're going to tell the truth or not the truth about what happened to him. You have to understand that the medical examiner's autopsy is legally mandated, and it is ultimately the most independent autopsy because it's not beholden to the family, it's not beholden to the prosecutor, to the police, to anybody else. It's an independent agency. So that is an independent autopsy, but it takes time. And it takes time until we get all the information back, including the toxicology report. And to answer the question, if somebody's intoxicated and they drown as a result of their intoxication, meaning that they're just, too intoxicated to be able to swim adequately, the cause of death would still be a drowning, but the intoxication would be considered a significant contributing condition.
Because if it was a simple drowning, she would have just ruled it a drowning. That's how I know they covering up something. Because everybody running with the narrative that Nolan drowned. Okay, if he drowned, it would have been easy. She would have instantly ruled it a drowning. But she know that it wasn't a drowning. That's why she removed that neck and she removed those organs, knowing that that examiner out there in Washington needed that to do his examination on Nolan's body. And she's still holding it, not releasing it.
Because of what I said about alcohol forming from bacteria after death, if the body is decomposed, you have to subtract some of that alcohol because it may have been caused by bacteria and may not have been a sign of intoxication. And you can have up to 0.20 gram percent. So 0.08 is above the legal limit in most states for driving, but you can get up to 0.20 in a massively decomposed body. So it really throws you off when you have decomposition and alcohol to try to figure out whether there was alcohol on board or whether all of it's just been made by bacteria.
According to Benjamin Crump in a new interview with TMZ on Wednesday, the family's autopsy is considered pending as they would now await pictures from the first autopsy and hopefully Wells' missing throat to help conclude their findings. Let's talk about it more in the comments below.
Family. This guy right here. This guy right here came out and said Nolan Wells' death had no foul play in it. The mayor coming out saying the same thing. He's saying that the case is still pending investigation, but he afraid to talk to the public. The journalist walked up to him. He acted like he didn't want to talk. He started deflecting, talking about, what's your name? Can I shake your hand? Can I do all this unnecessary shit? The examiner, right? This lady hasn't released nothing. So you mean to tell me the examiner that was out there in Washington at least did something quickly? Less than a week, he came out and gave us something. This lady right here, who's never ruled a black death a homicide, has not released nothing to the public. Now they coming out saying, family, that they are not going to release nothing to the public, and they are going to give it to the grand jury. The fix is in, family. The fix is in. This is a cover-up. And they know in 2026 it's kind of hard to do that because of social media and black media. It's kind of hard to get away with a lot of shit because we are looking at y'all. We have a magnifying glass on the state of Mississippi right now. And we are very vocal in numbers and we are on code and we are unified, it's kind of hard to get away with a cover up, right? This is why this sheriff right here is panicking, family. They are panicking. Yeah, I heard they sealed the records. They doing a lot of shady shit. Everybody moving so shady down there. But they always, they questioning us. That's calling out their shadiness. Let's just shame the black community. Let's just tell the black community that they race baiting, they race hustling. They always trying to pull the race card. Yeah, let's just find some way to blame black people so that we can continue to go over here and cover up what the fuck just happened. We got to save these white boys. Because if you look at her, are y'all waiting around for her to give us justice? This lady, Dr. Turner, seen these lynchings and these beatings of these black individuals and ruled it no foul play, no homicide. And we waiting on her? Absolutely not. That's why we got to stay vocal. We got to continue to expose the lies. Because I'm pissed the fuck off about this shit. I can't hide it. I don't know what to do. You say it must be Judge Roach and them kinfolk. Gotta be, bro. They all in cahoots. But as long as we do our part, family, we stay vocal. We keep attention on this case. We don't deflect. We don't allow them to gaslight us, trying to distract us, trying to rage bait us. It's not going to work. The only question that me and the family need answer to is what happened to Nolan? Warren went on his platform, said a whole bunch of nothing. Officer Tatum talking about, I got bombshell evidence to the point where y'all is going to apologize. That's what he said. He said, we're going to apologize. And not only that, family, this guy went on TikTok and everybody posted him because he said that he's about to release something to the public. Listen to this.
The way I see it is they have one of two choices. One, they can make things right, or two, I leak everything. The way I see it is they have one of two choices. One, they can make things right, or two, I leak everything.
He don't know shit. He don't know shit. I don't believe this. I see he going viral on social media about this. I don't believe this. Because his next couple videos, he posted this.
You know, Black Lives Matter to the left until you start talking about how 13% of the population commits 40% of the abortions in the United States. 79% of those abortion clinics, Planned Parenthood, are implanted in these minority communities just like they have been since the beginning when Margaret Sanger set it all up. Somebody who believed in eugenics, selective breeding, specifically trying to weed out a specific race, right? Until we start talking about black on black crime in the communities. And some
there we go. Black on black crime. See, everybody was running with this video about, oh, this guy got evidence. He got proof. He about to leak something. That nigga ain't got shit. He's an anti-black racist. Here go the talking points, family. Black on black crime, as usual.
Until we start talking about black on black crime in the communities. And some people in the black community are watching this and are like, holy shit, somebody's talking about it. And others are, that's a racist. But why would a racist bring these numbers up if they didn't care? Why wouldn't I just keep it a secret and let y'all continue to kill yourselves?
Because the reason why you got to talk about it, because you don't want nobody to look under your bed, look at your closet, and look at your skeletons that you're hiding, because y'all be over there indulging in incest. Y'all be over there touching them kids. Y'all cannot keep y'all hands off children. Every other month, every other week, y'all shooting up schools. That's why y'all want to continue to talk about black on black crime that don't affect you. Don't try to put on this fucking mask like you care about the black community because you bringing up this false statistics of some goddamn 1350. Some goddamn 1350. And this the same guy that said, I'm finna release everything. No, he's clout chasing. He don't know shit. Shout out to Paula coming in with the $10 super chat. I love it over here. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being here, Paula. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your voice. Thank you for your energy. Thank you. I'm glad you over here. We need you, Paula. Thank you for being a voice. Thank you for being present. Thank you to the family for being present. Shout out to you, Paula. You are the real MVP. But did you guys hear this? Right? He went from this.
The way I see it is they have one of two choices. One, they can make things right, or two, I leak everything.
He went from that to...
You know, Black Lives Matter to the
this.
left until you start talking about how 13% of the population commits 40% of the abortions in the United States.
This they talk. Well, you know what, white boy? Since you want to bring up black on black crime, right? Since you want to bring up black on black crime, can we talk about this? This is what I want to talk about, right? I want to talk about something. Let me play this video right quick.
This message is for black men, black teenagers, black adolescents. If your friend group is all white guys and you, get out of that group. Get the fuck out of that group. Those people are not your friends. And one day, they're going to do something to you. Only you, just you. It might be unkind, or it might end you. Are you paying attention to the amount of black men found hanging from trees?
He ain't got none family. He ain't got none. He ain't doing nothing but clout chasing because he wants somebody to come over there on his dust ass platform so he can talk about black on black crime. Talking about he gonna release everything. Then his next statement is, y'all, the black community is doing this. The black community is doing that. Come on now, bro. He using. I told you guys, we are the secret sauce on social media. We are the secret sauce. If you talk about us, all of your engagement goes up. Your engagement goes up. Hold on 1 second, family. Let me show you guys this right here. So he want to talk about black on black crime. It's this video she posted about this.
All right, so I woke up to this. So recently, Brandon Tatum has chosen to post me on his story and call me a nappy-headed fool. Hold on, I have evidence.
Yeah, he a
Here
troll.
we go. This was his statement on his story. She sounds really stupid or whatever it says, right? Now, in my original video that I made to him, I pointed out a question that why are you not speaking on the white issues that is going on if you love white people so much? If you love white people and if you don't like your own people, why do you talk about us? Why do you post us on your page? You should be talking about the trauma and the pain that is going on between the white community.
No, the reason why he's not going to talk about them because white America don't want to get held accountable for nothing. Right? Their kryptonite is accountability. That's why they like going over there to the Sambo class, tell them that their problems in this country is black people. Right? They got black fatigue, but they listen to the Sambo class, make countless videos of black people. He's not going to get paid talking about white crime. He's not going to get paid over there telling these white men to keep their hands off their children, keep their hands off their women. Every other month is some white Republican judge, some pastor getting arrested for putting their hands on a child. Every other month. Shout out to LaToya coming in with the $1 super chat. Thank you so much for that, LaToya. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You are the real MVP, love. Shout out to you for that. But yeah, he's not going to hold the white tea community accountable for nothing because his bread and butter is us.
Why are the men so obsessed with little children?
Shout out to the flowers. Shout out to the jewels.
Can you talk about that? Since you don't want to be black, you don't like us, you don't like the women, why do you post us? Talk about what white people are going through. I have a perfect story for you.
He posts us because white people is obsessed with black degenerate porn. They are losers. They are inferior of us. They know that we are better than them in every aspect in life. We are the cool kids on the block. Everybody cosplays us. Everybody cosplays us globally. We are American culture. Black culture is American culture, and they feel inferior about that. They build up jealousy and envy. So they have to set up systems to undermine us. And they have to run to low IQ platforms like Officer Tater Tot. Hear him talk about black on black crime, Chicago. Just like y'all just heard that white boy said, I'm going to release everything. Then at the same time, 1350.
Right here, Mr. Tatum. Don't play with me. This is Esther. I'm going to make sure that I tag her so y'all can go to her page and hear her story, how her Caucasian mother prepped her for her child molesting father. I wonder how many more young girls and boys are going through this in white households, Mr. Tatum.
A lot.
My mom and my dad had this arrangement where she would clean me up and prepare me for what he was going to do to me once I was in my bed. Wow. My mom was a participant in grooming me, literally. She was literally grooming my exterior. She would make sure I was clean, that my hair was clean, that my body was clean, that I had clean pajamas on. My dad liked a clean little girl. That's what he liked. He liked a little girl that was clean and fresh in her jammies. He liked my hair wet and clean and smelling good. And clean pajamas. And my mom...
Like, this is why I say there's something wrong with Caucasian people. Y'all hate us so much, but your daughters, your women are coming out and saying our family members are child molesters. Y'all like eating children. This is on paper. So I don't understand how you have so much hatred towards black people when there are so many Caucasian battles that you could be fighting, Mr. Tatum.
Yeah.
Stop posting my black people if you don't like us, nigga. Stay on that side. Stop talking about us. Stop mentioning us. We don't give a fuck about what you think. We don't want to be accepted by y'all. Yes, I'm a nappy-headed fool, and I got your full attention, my nigga. So...
Yeah, of course. He can't, though. Y'all got to understand. Family, I don't want you to feel offended when the Sambo class out here talking shit about us. We understand we hold the power here in this country. We are the supreme beings. These people won't have no life if they won't talk about us. Officer Tatum wouldn't be able to feed his family if he don't talk about us. Because I don't understand his white wife sit there and listen to him like, damn, you talk about black people every day like that? Like, it don't register in his mind. Like, his wife never look upside his head like, damn, nigga, you talk about black people every day? Like, I get it. I get what you're doing. You're trying to pander to me. You're trying to pander. You want to be accepted by my community. We would never accept you, by the way, because white men are very insecure about black men being with their women. So you just going to keep talking about black people every single day? But I really want to go to her page. I want to listen to this. This woman says she's a victim of her father and her mother groomed her. But Officer Tatum is not going to talk about this. I actually want to hear the whole video.
My mom and my dad had this arrangement where she would clean me up and prepare me for what he was going to do to me once I was in my bed. My mom was a participant in grooming me. Literally. She was...
But these white women always want to talk about black women and their kids, but they in the house doing this shit, raising school shooters, protecting pedophiles.
Literally grooming my exterior. She would make sure I was clean, that my hair was clean, that my body was clean, that I had clean pajamas on. My dad liked a clean little girl.
Oh my God.
That's what he liked. He liked a little girl that was clean and fresh in her jammies.
Sick. Fucking sick.
He liked my hair wet and clean and smelling good.
Imagine the trauma that this woman got to walk around every single day. The exact person that's supposed to be protecting her. Her mother and her father, especially her father, supposed to be her protector. You supposed to run to your father for safety, for protection. And he is robbing you of your innocence every day. And your mother sitting there allowing this to happen. But every fucking day on this internet, y'all othering the words 1350 when shit is happening like this every single day in y'all household. White men are 76% of pedophiles in this country, but y'all want to talk about 1350.
And clean pajamas. And my mom knew that that was her job, to get me ready for what her husband liked, which was a clean little girl. And so she wasn't happy about the fact that her child had taken her place sexually with her husband.
Wow.
She felt insignificant and undesirable because she wasn't. My mom and my dad had this arrangement where,
bro, this is sad. And you know, y'all remember I played y'all this of Charlie Kirk, right? Y'all just heard that young lady's stories, and you know, my heart goes out to her. I hope she heal the best way she can, because that's going to be trauma she's going to carry with her for the rest of her life. And I hope the men that come into her life be patient with her, because that's hard, bro. That's fucking sick, disgusting. And they hero, listen to this. Y'all know I like playing this video right here, because look at the demonic laugh and smile of their beloved Charlie Kirk when this white girl said this right here.
4 years ago, I was raped by my father, and I chose not to have an abortion, and this is what came out of it.
This girl said she was raped by her father, and that man probably standing next to her, and Charlie Kirk clapped. They cheered. Didn't nobody say, "Oh my God." Charlie Kirk didn't pull her to the side and say, "Hey, yeah, we need to talk. We need to, we gonna do something about your father." That might be her father standing next to her. She is holding her son, brother. This is what this community celebrate. But Charlie Kirk went on those college campuses and talked about black people like a dog right before he overdosed on that metal. He thought the ancestors was going to allow him to stick around on this earth and degrade our people like that, when this is their number one concern in their community. Every other day, family, I can post in the community tab every day of some white man doing something to a child. That lady said that her mother groomed her, got her together, cleaned her up. Think about how demonic and evil you have to be to look at your innocent child, clean her up, and allow your husband to rob her of her innocence day in and day out. Thank God that that young lady is not, is still here with us. She didn't take herself out, because that's traumatic, bro. And whatever emotion that she's feeling is valid, because her father took her innocence. This young girl right here, father took her innocence, and they sent her clapping.
Not to have an abortion, and this is what came out of it.
Wow.
I'm very sorry that happened to you.
No, you're not.
That is incest and
if you sorry for that, you should have said, "Hey, I need to speak with you real quick." I wouldn't even applaud. I wouldn't even say nothing to you. My next words would have been to her, if she would have said that in front of me, "Ma'am, step over here real quick. Put your contact information down. If you can stick around till I finish this, I need to speak with you, because we need to put some charges on your father for rape. This is disgusting. We need to blast your father's name, make sure he loses his job. Let's get him registered as a sex something. Not sit here and talk about, I'm sorry this happened to you." And Charlie Kirk's supposed to be a leader in y'all community.
tell us your little one's name.
This is Jonah.
And Jonah's a miracle from God.
He is.
But it was a terrible thing that happened to you. What is your message to people that say babies conceived in rape are not human beings?
They are absolutely human beings. They are made individually by God, and they can do some very important things.
No, I'm not really talking about the baby, but that baby was conceived from evil, not from God. Thank God the baby got his life, but that baby wasn't conceived by righteousness. That baby was conceived by evilness, not from God. Why are y'all putting evilness on God? You think God will sign off on your father taking your innocence and you having that baby? And Charlie Kirk condoning this shit? And this the man y'all was all in the street crying and, oh my God, Charlie. And this is why the ancestors made sure that he overdosed on metal. This is why.
I believe that he'll grow up and he'll help people, and based on all of our experiences, we can try and keep them from doing the same thing that their parents did.
Praise God. Jonah is alive because of your courage.
Sick.
Terrible thing.
Sick. So, but Officer Tatum want to focus on the black community. All these white men that can't keep their hands off their children, and these white women know what's going on. Right, you got the Megyn Kellys. Megyn Kelly know these numbers that's going on in her community. Nancy Grace know the numbers that goes on in her community. Nancy Grace want to go out here and be the #1 detective of all these crimes and all this shit that's going on, but she don't take the time of her day to investigate why these white men are doing this in your community in such a high level. The leading demographic in this country of taking children's innocence. These girls are getting their innocence taken away from them by their fathers. And it's a round of a fucking applause? So you think it's more important to talk about Chicago, a small percentage of black people that's out here doing dumb shit that we don't condone, by the way, but we know they are going to jail, so we ain't worrying about them in Chicago. Them niggas is going to jail. Justice will be served for those black people that's losing their loved ones by the hands of other black people. They get justice. But Officer Tatum, Mr. Potato Head, Po Chop, Moose in the Face, Rock Face, want to talk about black fatigue. When children every day, y'all see, I don't know if y'all keep up with Tim Tebow, but Tim Tebow is doing God's work out there. He exposing these degenerate, evil white men that's out here signing up for child corn, doing all this degenerate stuff. But when you hear them on their platform, like your Matt Walsh, your Steven Crowder, Charlie Kirk, may he rest in peace, black people name in their mouth. When it's an epidemic of these men out here taking the innocence of these little children. They own children. But let's talk about Chicago. When we can be better in our community. Because black on black crime don't affect you. It affects us. And we doing what we need to do to get these motherfuckers out the paint. We don't condone it. We don't condone criminals. Rest in peace to Nolan. Rest in peace to Nolan. Free Carmelo Anthony. I hope y'all think I'm not. I just hope the mainstream media out there is ready for me and the family. I just pray that y'all overlook us, continue to try to discredit us, because we only growing over here. We only getting louder. And I'm getting more and more fired up every time I go live. I'm only getting more and more. I don't get tired. Especially when it comes to my people. This Nolan Wells case got me. But family, if you guys joining me on this evening, and if you didn't hear me at the beginning of this stream, Carmelo Anthony has a hearing coming up August the 19th at 9 a.m. on a Wednesday for the recuser of Judge Roach to get him off the case. August the 20th, that following Thursday, he has a hearing to argue about a retrial. So we are going to make sure that we keep Carmelo Anthony in our prayers. We continue to uplift him And, just hope for the best, because we know that Carmelo Anthony was one of our best. Nolan Wells was one of our best. Daniel Irvin was one of our best. And when our people is in a time of need, we have to show up for them. We can't just leave them out for dead. The cowards can stay on the sideline, just like somebody said in my comment section earlier today. Oh, I gotta unsubscribe. See, y'all think I'm your typical content creator. You think I give a fuck about this internet shit for real? You think I'm here to be famous? No, I'm here on a mission. I can give a fuck about. You don't hear me celebrate nothing. People are, Tim, bro, you got your subscribers. I don't care nothing about that. I show up and I see the family and I get to work. I don't celebrate subscribers numbers. I don't celebrate nothing. I'm here on a mission. So when y'all, that's why I said I'm the radical kind, and I know I'm a make some black people uncomfortable because they a lot of black people like to straddle the fence. Well, Carmelo should have never did. Well, Nolan should. If that's you, you're going to have a tough time over here. I'm on the side of black people. I'm for my people. I'm riding till the wheels fall off with my people. I'm making it clear where I stand. Just in case people out here listening to me, I'm making it clear where I stand so you won't be confused. So you can go ahead and exit stage left. I'm not playing no games when it comes to my people. No games. Every day, belt to ass. Every fucking day. Every day. I'm not getting tired. Nothing. I'm not fatigued. Because y'all out here every day. I'm black fatigue. Oh, you fatigued. Oh, let's turn that up a notch on your bitch ass. Yeah, we finna make you more fatigued, bitch ass nigga, till you exhausted, until you overdose, just like Charlie Kirk did. I want you to think that this is a game. I want y'all to not take me serious. That's exactly what I want. Because when I start these live streams, it's rage inside of me. I got rage inside of me. I'm going to continue to show up for my family. I'm going to continue to show up for my people. And I won't be sidetracked. Y'all coming on here telling me, well, you shouldn't talk about this. You shouldn't talk about that. You shouldn't talk about this. You shouldn't talk about. Fuck you. Why you don't talk about this? Why you don't bring up this? I know what y'all doing. I know. Y'all, I'm telling y'all are going to find out how I really get. I'm telling you, as me and the family grow, as we grow as one, because we come together, we like this. As we continue to climb up, I'm telling you, shit is going to be, it's going to get real for the mainstream media. That's why they trying to go ahead and discredit us, label us as race baiters, all this, send their Sambo class out here to attack us. That's not going to work. Look at these black people over here. These the elite. You can't do nothing with this type of black people that's over here. You can't do nothing with us. What the fuck are you going to do? Chicago, bro. Okay, Chicago. 1350. These people act like we didn't hear this 1,000 times already, family. When they keep bringing this shit up, they think that we haven't heard this 1,000 times already. Like we supposed to just take our ball and go home. Yeah, you know what, family? Yeah, they said 1350. Damn, they got us. Let's stop standing on business. Let's stop putting belt to ass. Let's stop defending the family. Let's stop showing up for our people in a time of need. They hit us with the 1350. They hit us with the 1350. I give up. I'm done. We are our ancestors. I hear white supremacists say this on the internet. Y'all are not your ancestors. No, we are. We are the descendants of our ancestors. Yeah, the same motherfuckers that kicked y'all ass up and goddamn the plant. Yeah, that's us. Yeah, that's our people. This is why y'all gotta over police us, lie on us, put systems into play to try to undermine. This is why y'all got to do that. Because y'all are looking at God's chosen ones. We are the supreme being. We're better than you. I know that I'm better than you. And every single day we prove it. Your own people coming out here saying, yeah, we jealous of black people because of y'all talent, y'all educated, y'all bravery, y'all unity. It's a threat to us. That's why we can't even the playing field, because we know y'all gonna outperform us every time. So we have to plant drugs in y'all community, plant guns in y'all community, try to get y'all off track, have y'all dysfunctioning, throw abortion clinics in y'all community, throw all these different shit in y'all community to try to stop us. But you're dealing with a new group of black people in 2026. You might have us confused at one point. Time is up. Time is up. Time is up. I'm active. August 19th, August 20th is two very important days. I want you guys to put those days in your calendar so you don't forget. If you're not closed down there, I need you guys to really, really pray hard on those days. We need this for Carmelo. I pray that the judge do the right thing, man. Please, God. I don't even ask you for nothing. All I ask you is to see another day. I got it from there. Can you please cover Carmelo Anthony? Please, man. Shout out to the family. Shout out to the team. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this evening. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for being present every single day. Thank you guys for being brave. Thank you for being great. I love you guys so much. Until we meet again.